we were in the werewolf den, and you guys were attacked by the main pack of werewolves, and you guys managed to dispatch them pretty easily, um, thanks to some big smites and millions of spiritual guardians damage. And you guys found a creepy shrine with some treasure and some children, which you saved and brought back to Kresk. And one of the children was the mayor's son, the burgomaster's son, who I think you guys cured him, right, of his lycanthropy. And the burgomaster was super happy about that. And also, the Vistani vampire hunter that you guys encountered before, um, she did a Taroka card reading and it was not exactly the same as Madame Ava's. And Esmeralda, she said something about a wizard and a druid and a paladin and a cleric that are shadows of four of the characters that need to be possibly destroyed or redeemed. And she also mentioned Ireena's shadow being Strahd, and how his there's some kind of omen about his black heart, and no one knows what that means. And later, you guys decided to go investigate the Abbey, even though 20 different NPCs told you not to, but curiosity got the better of you, and you made your way up. And on the northern wing of the Abbey, while looking through some windows, there were some strange psychic interferences coming from inside the Abbey that damaged a few of you. And as you went inside and went over to the western part of the Abbey, you found the abbot himself and some young woman. And with Dio's divine sense, you sense that the woman was undead and the abbot was a celestial, like an angel or something like that, a being of light. And as the woman got closer, you noticed that she's a flesh golem of some type. She's made by piecing together pieces of corpses, like a Frankenstein monster. But it's pretty hard to notice. You can mostly notice from either how awkward she moves, or the fact that she doesn't talk, or if you look close enough, you can see little seams in her on her body.
Can you smell her? Or no?
I don't think you guys have really got close enough to smell her.
Well, I wasn't sure if it was like rotting flesh, like you know, even if it was just like a dead body, something grew over days before I
Hmm.
smell it. But it might just magically not be rotting, I guess.
Yeah, and the abbot seemed not necessarily hostile at all, but he seemed very strange.
And he needed her face.
As he started to converse with you, he noticed Ireena and said that he needed her face. He also explained that the gods of light have told him that the way to banish Strahd from this realm is to unite him with his lost love. So the abbot is building a bride for Strahd to save Barovia. And the way he described these things seemed as if he was completely convinced of this mode of action, and there's not much you could do to convince him otherwise. but nothing he said seems to show ulterior motives. He seems like he legitimately does want to vanquish Strahd, but he also just seems mad.
So he said he wanted to unite him with the bride because that's how they're gonna vanquish him or get rid of him,
Yeah, I
defeat
believe.
him. Does he need
Um,
like? I guess my character's curious why that's gonna work.
he noticed Dio having the same type of holy symbol as him, and he addressed to Dio that the gods of light have told him that the way to destroy Strahd is to reunite him with his lost love.
It sounds like something has impersonated whatever divine being he trusts and is giving him this information to actually help Strahd. In his mind, he feels like it's going to destroy Strahd, but it seems like he's been confused by whatever is giving him this information. It would be like someone saying, like, the only way for you to win is give me $20, and you're like, oh, I don't see how that really works, but sure thing, I trust you.
Mm-hmm. And at one point he said, "If you're not if you're not willing to help cleanse this realm of evil, then you're servants of evil yourself." And he seemed angry that you weren't
So
cooperative.
what if we? I mean, we're obviously cooperative. We want to rid the realm of evil. We want to get rid of Strahd too. So in that, we have the same interest as this guy. But I think that if he needs to make a bride, we should probably let him know that if he uses this person's face, it's probably not going to be accepted. Like Strahd won't accept it as a bride because he's truly in love with this actual person. So if he kills her, takes her face, and puts it on his bride that he's making, it's just going to always remind Strahd that she died to make this creature, and it's probably not going to work. He probably won't actually marry her. He probably won't accept it as a bride.
Do you want to say that to him?
I mean, I guess.
All right. Do you want? Is that pretty much what you want to say to him?
Yeah, I mean, if Strahd's in love with this person, and killing her to use her face would only remind him of the loss of this person, and he probably would reject the corpse or reject that thing as the bride.
Make
And we
a.
and then I'll say, so we're on your side though, and we want to help you, so we can help you make this bride. If you're missing stuff and you need stuff, we can help you. But I think that if you use her face, it's gonna backfire.
Make a persuasion check.
But I'm real bad at persuasion, y'all. Oh God! I rolled a natural 20.
Yep.
Well, just crazy works on crazy.
Yeah.
My hero.
Maybe.
He says, "The Dark Lord is he is undead. He must have he must have a fitting bride. A living bride would not be appropriate, I believe. Perhaps I must consult with the gods again. How do you know this?"
Do I know that he loves this person, or that it would be a bad idea?
Both.
Um, I will say that where he has brought destruction into villages on the land, he refuses to bring destruction to her. He refuses to hurt her, and he is doing everything he can to bring her to him, to woo her to love him. So we have to figure out a way to not harm her, but also create a bride good enough for the Dark Lord.
Right. He actually he told me how to do it, and he confirmed that he did everything.
The spirits of this place, holy clerics of light, they were healers, surgeons. They told me how to make Vasilka. Surely they are guided by the gods of light.
No, that's Ruby saying that. No.
So is the like all you need is a face? Is that all you're needing?
Her face is like the face I saw in visions at the Amber Temple. I saw her. She must be the Dark Lord's destined love.
We need to go with you and see these surgeons that you're talking about. See if we can figure out where the message is going wrong.
Is anybody good with insight?
I think I am.
Is proficient with insight?
Good at it. I'm not crazy at it.
Got a +4. Ooh. Well,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Natural 20, natural 20.
Yep.
Insight, mine's +8.
Okay, roll,
I think you're good.
roll insight with disadvantage because he's so strange.
That's fair.
Okay, you get a little something. His cadence is very weird, but the way he says Dark Lord sounds like it's some kind of specific title and not just a vague term for a bad person. Like he's saying it as if it's one word. Like it's some kind of specific thing.
I'll let my Patriots do that. Like, I'm getting something odd about how what he's describing as a Dark Lord. Not, he's actually thinking of a specific person as Dark Lord.
He says, "Oh, yes. I have vanquished 2 Dark Lords eons ago in other parts of these realms. The gods have guided me before to save the peoples from the dark powers and the dark lords that they empower."
I want to know have you been outside Barovia in your life?
He says, I have existed before your race existed. I have seen many realms. I was born in the celestial plane. I was sent on a holy mission to cleanse these realms and the dark powers that control them. With the guidance of the Morning Lord, I have already cleansed 2 of such.
Did they have names, the ones that you cleansed? Would we know them? I'm asking him, I'm not asking you as the GM.
He starts to think, I do not remember.
Basically, I was trying to see if maybe he's been tricked this whole time into thinking he killed some Dark Lords and he hasn't. Or
He does seem to have holes in his memory based on the way he's acting. Unless he's deceiving you.
What?
We want to work together with you to vanquish Strahd. We want Strahd defeated, but we are still trying. We are still. You've been in these lands much longer than us. We are still new to these lands compared to what you've seen in your time. Are there things you can show us or take us places you can take us to so that we can see what you've seen that led you to believe this was the right way to go?
The spirits of the holy clerics in this place told me how to build Vasilka. But first, when I communed with the gods at the Amber Temple, they told me how to destroy this vampire and free this place.
Tell us where the Amber Temple is.
It is near the top of this mountain, Mount Gacchus, and he points out these little tiny windows in this room. He points to the same mountain that one of your former warlock traveling companions left to inexplicably.
I ask him, would you be able to leave here and go with us to the Amber Temple and show us what you've experienced?
You are questioning the voices I have heard from the gods of light. You could be forces of darkness trying to trick me. And his voice gets louder, and the whole room seems to shake. But he still seems to keep his composure. He's just, when his voice raises, the whole room shakes.
I think at this point Dio's gonna flash his symbol, holy symbol again, and say to the abbot, "That's nonsense. What? You've seen my symbol. We both worship the dawn. We both have the dawn star as our god. Why would I be fooled? We can't at least be forces of darkness."
He says, "My sight shows me tricks and deceptions. I don't see any on you, but I have been fooled before."
So I want to be like, yeah, we definitely want to work with you. We do not want to work against you. Tell me what we can do to help you.
Because at least one of you seems to be on the path of light. I will allow you to go speak with the spirits of the saints here, and if you wish, to the Amber Temple, so that you can hear the truth from them. Then you will return here, and if you continue then to speak heresy against the gods, I will destroy you.
Sir, you, the individual you all know as Strahd, you refer to him only as dark. Where does that name come from?
He is empowered by one of the dark powers of this realm. I know not which one. All of these similar realms that we are a part of now, they are controlled by these dark powers. His patron grants him the power to control this small realm as if he was a god.
Patron. Who is his patron?
One of these dark powers.
We don't know of these dark powers. Tell us more.
I don't know about such dark forces, nor should anyone peer into such evil. It should only be destroyed.
How can you destroy it if you don't know?
Peering into the darkness will only give temptation.
Okay, so we need to go talk to these people.
He does not seem like a very flexible person.
We have to, so we can go talk to these spirits, and then we have to build a bride, because uniting him with a bride is the only way to rid him of the lands.
Yes. When that is done, I will leave this realm and continue on to another to free them from evil.
So if we can help you do all this, can you help us in return?
To do good is a reward unto itself.
Oh yeah, of course. Don't get me wrong. We want to do good, but unlike you, we are not able to freely leave this realm and go back to our homes. If we can help you rid Strahd of this land, you help us get home.
Perhaps.
Well, Beans, I say we go talk to these spirits then, and then what all do you need to help finish building your bride?
I need her face.
Yeah.
Only her face? There's no other face that will work?
I believe not. It was
Now,
the face I saw in the vision.
in your visions, did you see her face, or did you see a face that looked very similar to her face?
I believe the hair was different, but the face is the same.
So I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Why is your golem or your build a better option than why kill people for faith when I
The spirits of the saints told me to build her. She is a worthy undead bride for the undead lord of this realm.
and I'm not?
You're not undead though.
Okay.
So I think he's trying to say Strahd will live forever because he's undead. You're gonna grow old and stuff, and that's not gonna be good for him because anything he has with you can only be temporary.
Shari, make an insight check.
Because he wants to make me
Th-
like
Um,
so he already has a plan.
your insight into what he's saying is that he's fucking crazy.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, I agree because he wants my face, but
But it seems totally normal to him.
Right, of course.
So this is kind of like a celestial and he's not really bad. Like, he's good, but he just is literally insane and has the wrong opinion of what good means.
Right.
As far as you can tell, yeah.
Right.
So I think it's in our best interest to keep going along with his insanity for now.
You guys sit here.
Yeah.
He says, I will allow you to go because I believe perhaps it is on the path to the light. But if you return and speak evil, I will remove you from this realm, as I have many others. The Dark Lord of this realm will come to this abbey soon to see his bride. If you wish to ask him these questions, then you can stay and speak to him.
You can rid realms of dark lords. Why can you not rid this realm of this dark lord?
I don't know that even my power can destroy him, but even if I could, he would return. He is connected to the land. The wizard that spoke to me before asked me these same questions. He was smart, but he had not wisdom. He tried to destroy the physical form of Strahd, but the Dark Lord returned and smote him down. Do
Is
not
there a
make
way-
the same mistake as this arrogant wizard.
Is there a way to sever his connection to the powers given to him by the dark powers?
The gods at the Amber Temple told me the way is to reunite him with his bride.
Did tell you the reason why that would work? Just out of curiosity. I'm not questioning its efficacy.
He looks at you like that's the strangest question he's ever heard.
Weird. So for him, it's like you throw a ball in the air, and that's how you get it to go up. That's
Yeah.
simple. Okay.
It's just simple as that for him.
These questions you ask remind me of this doomed wizard. And he looks at you, Dio. I hope you do not follow in his footsteps.
No, of course not.
So it seems that we do not have the same enlightenment that you do, and in which case we will go speak to the spirits so that we can receive the enlightenment.
I think that is most prudent.
Go speak to them, and I hope when you return you have learned the truth. The way he's speaking sounds kind of like a teacher that is sending you to go learn something that they already know, so you can repeat it to them
Yeah,
in a kind of a condescending way.
of course, yeah, right. I think we need to be off.
And he's just standing there still now. Like,
Now he said there was spirits at the abbey, and there were spirits, or not the abbey, at the temple or whatever, and there was also spirits here.
yeah.
Are we allowed to talk to the spirits here or no?
Are you asking him?
Well, I was just curious. Did he tell us we could talk to the spirits here? Or
Yeah,
just
he
the
said.
other place?
He said go speak to the spirits of the saints here, and they'll tell you.
Yeah, so we can go talk to them in both places.
Okay. So where are they at here? Can we go? Like, are they up these stairs or something?
Go to the hospital wing. That's where most of them are.
Gotcha. Don't really have a map.
The other building that you guys peeked in where you took psychic damage, that's it.
Okay. Definitely not want to go there.
The guy with the jacket one.
Yep. Well, the straitjacket guy I think was in this like central courthouse area, but past that is the other wing where you guys peeked in and took psychic damage.
So, do you have a name?
How do we request aid?
Some call me the abbot. I suppose I function as an abbot since this is an abbey.
What does the Dawnstar call you?
Gods don't have need for names.
Yep, makes sense.
He again thinks your question is just so weird, like out of the realm of possibility.
Right. Well, suppose Abbott will be fine then.
Alright, well, I guess we're gonna go.
He just stands there with his hands folded, just
Yep, Dio's heading
just
out
staring at you in an unsettling
Dio's
way.
out the door. Oh,
I followed Dio out.
yeah.
And things were getting pretty uh, dangerous until Swain managed to get a make a very persuasive question, or at least a question that made him reconsider destroying you.
Yes.
Sense to his nonsense.
Yep.
Alright. So I guess we can head back to the little town.
Yeah, and if you
I
want
mean,
to,
just
if you want to go to those spirits or whatever, they're that direction, in the other wing.
Yeah, we can do that too.
All right. The
Try.
Do we take a short rest?
you'd have to sit here for an hour.
Oh, never mind. We won't do that.
No, we don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm. So let me see here.
This door here. This door here.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if it tells me if that door is open or not.
I'm gonna go ahead and have this
I guess the door just opens because it doesn't say anything about it being locked or anything. So
It's gonna take point here.
Do I see traps or no way?
no, not here. This room. Well, are you guys going to go in there? I forgot that I have to actually open the door.
Dio's gonna go in, I think, first.
There we go.
Alright. I'm in.
I'm gonna stay near Sherry's character.
Okay.
Yeah.
This room looks like it used to be an office or a foyer. There's the remains of a desk and a chair over here, both of which have been smashed to pieces. And then there's a hallway to the south that leads somewhere. You can't tell yet.
So here's a question.
Hmm.
Let's see, is my divine sense still active? I don't think it
No, you'd have to
is.
activate it again.
So, are we headed towards the spirits that are here? Like, not the second set of spirits, but their first set of spirits.
Right, the medical, the spirit
Mhm.
that's in the medical wing.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So like the ones that basically taught him how to
Build
make
the
columns. Right.
zombie.
Hmm.
Okay. Right.
So are you going to use your divine sense?
I think I will. Yes.
Within the radius, you can in the direction in these rooms down
Okay.
this hallway, you can kind of feel a little bit of an essence of maybe undead, but it's strange. It's not anything like you've seen before. Make
Oh,
a religion check.
okay.
Actually, no, Arcana. Make an Arcana check.
Arcana?
Yeah.
No. Well,
Just him, or are you
Yeah.
talking everybody?
He's the only one that can see the auras, so it'll be just him.
Oh,
okay,
okay.
so I'll make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Okay.
You, your best guess is maybe it's some bad undead thing.
But it's like, so it's detect undead, but it's unlike anything I've felt before.
Yeah.
Weird.
Not in terms of intensity. It's not like it's super intense. It's
It's,
just
it's like, it's more like a different,
like hard to get a
uh,
beat on it. Yeah.
Like
right.
weird flavor you've never tasted?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to put it that way. Okay, I'll say, I'll turn to the party and say, so I sense undead down this hallway, but it's strange. It's unlike anything I've felt before when it comes to the undead, so I'm not sure what to make of it.
In this dark hallway, you see rooms on these sides. Rooms all the way down as far as you can see.
This is a window.
Yeah, this blue glass there's a window, yeah.
So those just show you outside.
Investigate what?
This room that I'm in.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Do we know what this building is?
You gather that this building does seem to be a hospital. It used to be a hospital wing. And it looks like no one has been through here in a long time. And with that high of an investigation check, you'd be able to tell that there's signs of that there was a struggle here a long time ago. It's not just dilapidated. It seems like there was some kind of fight here, maybe. But it was a long time ago. And that building you can see out the window is, I don't know, an outhouse, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe a pantry of some kinds.
Yeah, it could be.
And these
I
are
guess.
stairs going up.
These are stairs that lead up.
Well,
Hallway or the staircase?
I was going to go down the hallway.
Okay, Dio, make a perception check.
Oh boy.
And if anybody's right behind him, you can also do that.
Okay.
How sneaky are we trying to be if we know who we are? Is this? Are we just walking through here?
I mean, I think that's what Dio would do, probably.
Just walk through.
Right.
Should I block the door that we came through in some way, so we would know? Or does anyone have any kind of trap or anything they can put in that door in case, just so we can hear noise from it if somebody comes behind us?
Right.
Anything like that? We're at the end of this hall where we're at. Okay.
I
It's
could
fine.
have.
Mm.
I could summon my familiar and just have him watch the back.
It
Yeah,
might
like
not
a
be
lo-
bad to have a familiar something already. Yeah.
Then he can alert us if
yeah.
something happens.
You can do that.
Fly up kind of higher in the thing and keep an eye out for us.
Yeah.
And Dio, you faintly hear whispers coming from the room on your right. Someone's whispering in there.
I'm going to investigate the room on my right. I hear someone in there.
You can open the door.
Yeah, I will.
This room has some bones, some amount of skeletons. You're not sure how many. And scraps of clothing. And that's all you can see on first glance. No, nothing alive in here.
Can I hear those whispers still?
Yeah, you can faintly hear something whispering, like right there in this corner.
Don't see anything there.
Nope.
I want to try and investigate the skeletons in the room.
Okay, you can make a medicine check. Or investigation if you're just looking for stuff.
I guess I'll go with medicine. It's a better roll.
Yeah, medicine would be if you're trying to figure out like what the skeletons were.
Yeah.
And, you're pretty sure there's about 3 human skeletons in here.
Okay.
You don't know how they died.
Got it.
And I need Dio and Burl to make a wisdom saving throw. Nope. Um, Dio, you take 6 psychic damage, and Burl, you take 12 psychic damage. You both hear a whisper from the corner that starts to get louder and louder, and it's in a language you can't understand. And you start to get the feeling that it's like uh, someone's telling you something that you don't want to hear. You're trying to make it stop. You put your hands over your ears. And Burl, you are stunned for 1 round. And Dio, you manage to shake it off. And since we're not in combat, 1 round means just, like 6 seconds. So, but it's still unnerving.
Sure. Yeah, Dio's heading for the door. He's like, Burl. Burl. Kind of shakes him a little. For me to get out of this room.
Burl, you can make an Arcana check if you want. Not sure, it probably has to be pretty high, but yeah, it's something. I mean, you're you would be familiar with Demir psychics that can hurt your brain, but you highly doubt that is something happening here.
Ruby hears you guys, kind of calls in, like, what's going on in there? Dio, are you okay?
Yes, we just need to get out of this room. There we go.
Why the doors are broken? It's such a
There's some sort of spirit or something in there. Anyway, it's speaking in a strange language.
You saw the spirit?
We didn't see it. There were 3 skeletons, human skeletons in there. I think. I couldn't figure out how they died, but there was definitely something in there that was whispering in a language I couldn't understand. Could you understand it, Bo?
No. Not unpleasant.
Yes, very.
Terrible. Do you all need anything? Water? Or are you okay? Healthy still?
Are you okay now, Burl? I know you seemed kind of dazed there for a minute, for a second.
Well,
Right. I think I'm okay.
carry on.
Is there anything in this room to the left?
When you open that door, uh, you see a room that looks pretty similar to the other one, but this one doesn't have bones. It has smashed furniture.
Smashed people, now smashed furniture.
Very
Yep.
organized smash stuff.
Yep.
I don't know. This isn't really Dia's wheelhouse.
Is anyone here investigation? Or
Right.
I am.
are interested at all in these things, or are you just kind of like, man, it's
No, I mean,
Strahd's place?
no, I'm interested. I was just kind of keeping up. I was like kind of looking up the back with my owl, like watching the back. But
I was gonna say Dio's gonna call Swain over.
I think Ireena has really high investigation too.
I'd really like you guys to kind of investigate this smashed stuff. I don't really. Jeez. Yeah, that'll do.
Um,
Yep, yep. Right people for the right job.
Yep.
it looks uh, like I said, smashed furniture. It looks like someone came into this room and smashed all the furniture in it and left. And with as high of an investigation check that Ireena has, it seems like, based on the bones in the other room and the smashed furniture in this room, and based on the fact that you're in a holy temple, you get the impression that someone purposely was going room to room and just destroying this place. But it was a long time ago. You barely see any signs of any kind of hospital that was here because it's been so thoroughly smashed. And Swain, you can hear a faint whisper through the wall coming from this room up here.
I know if that's actual audible whispers or if I'm hearing it in my head.
Make an Arcana check. Okay, it's pretty high. It's psychic. Something that the same thing that happened to you before. Some kind of psychic interference. But it sounds like some kind of like babbling in a language you don't understand. And if you try to think about what the voice is saying to you, it just makes you be kind of whelmed up with fear, like you want to stop hearing it.
So concentrating on it makes it worse, basically.
Yeah. And you start to get the impression that the spirits of clerics that the abbot was talking about are maybe not what you expected.
Yeah, probably just these things saying random stuff, and he interpreted it as something crazy.
I'll go ahead and say, since you rolled over a 20, you've and because it's your field of expertise, that yeah, you've heard of a type of poltergeist called an alip, which is formed from someone who went mad over forbidden knowledge, and it often happens to people who were murdered by something that would like was beyond their like realm of comprehension, or possibly even wizards that delve too far in forbidden lore and destroy themselves.
Okay,
But they're pretty rare as far as you know,
gotcha.
and they're definitely not benevolent.
And then I'll let the group know what we're dealing with.
So the abbot simply heard heard so he simply heard that message, I guess. That's what he interpreted from the whispering, right? I guess.
Yeah, perhaps he might be unaffected by the psychic
Well,
interference that these things cause. Basically, what you told me about these things is like they're basically did not die a good death. They died a bad death because there was some entity that killed
Yeah,
them, right?
and for alip specifically, it's more about their mind being basically mind blown by something
Yeah.
that's outside of their comprehension.
So I'll let them know that.
And you also know that
Somewhat.
they drive people insane the more that you listen to them,
So
which
it could
seems
be
obvious,
that
but yeah.
these things are caused when somebody dies because of something that they can't comprehend. Um, some sort of entity messing with their mind and killing them. So the spirits that that celestial creature heard could be these things whispering, or could be whatever creature caused the deaths of these things. That creature with its abilities to manipulate the mind. It could be that. So it could be these things or the thing that killed these things.
Either
Um,
way, the abbot is demented, unfortunately.
Ireena, you're
So
from
yeah,
here, so make a history check.
he is straight through.
So if somebody else sees me again,
Ireena, you remember stories of Saint Markovia that tried to defeat Strahd and failed, and you remember something about um, Strahd destroying her, the rest of her followers afterward, but you don't know exactly what happened.
So you know of these spirits. It seems unlikely to be able to communicate with them. So the abbot would be able to do that. Correct?
In fact, it would be in our best interest not to communicate with them.
Yeah, the more that you listen to the whispers, the more crazy it will make you. But I do feel like there may be merit if whatever entity that caused the deaths of these things still lurks here. We may not be able to communicate with these specific spirits. We might be able to communicate with that specific spirit. And if that specific spirit was talking to that celestial about defeating Strahd, as demented as that celestial is, there may be something of value, knowledge wise, with cutting off Strahd from whatever it is that is allowing him to resurrect himself. Because in the stories that we've heard of the wizard that defeated him or whatever, there was some reason Strahd was able to bring himself back. And the whole reason we came here is because the lady down there with one leg was telling us that there might be some knowledge here on how to maybe help him stay dead once he's dead. So I don't know if there's anything to gain here as far as knowledge to cut him off from his ability to resurrect, but that might be worth exploring. But if we do that, we definitely want to ignore these spirits as much as possible.
Well, Dio, if you go down the hall
Yeah.
to the end, you should be able to scan this whole place with your divine sense.
Okay, I will.
Just to make it easier to visualize, like in terms of the east and west, you can see all the way to the walls, but north and south it's a lot longer. So if you walk down the hall with your divine sense, looking around, um, if you assume that these weird spots that you've seen before are these ellipses that he described, you see four more of them in these hospital rooms, and you don't detect anything else with your divine sense.
In that case, I definitely do think we need to GTM though.
I agree with Swain.
Do we want to try the staircase? Are you able to sense above you?
Could I sense that direction, I guess?
Yeah, for a certain distance.
I could walk to the staircase, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like go up it some.
Let me check the upper floor map and see where you're at. You see one more of those. Same type of aura right above you, or kind of above you, slightly to the right.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
he's doing. Go ahead.
I was yeah Dio just came back and said I sense one more of these aelips up the stairs, not far from it.
Well then, yeah, I think that we should probably bounce. If we go crazy, we're not gonna be able to.
No, you're getting off
Right.
the 930.
No. Um, I'd rather not help a demented celestial build a flesh golem.
I mean, if it's gonna destroy Strahd,
I
and then I'll make
have-
a joke. That way you can tell it. That way you can tell I'm joking and say, so. I mean, if anything does happen to you, I'll make sure to bring your body back here to the Celestial instead of giving you to Strahd. Talking to
Ireena. Okay.
Yeah, I won't give you over to Strahd if you do die. I'll bring you here. That way, you know, we can at least destroy it.
Burl, you have high perception, right? Make a perception check. I think you and Ruby both. Ruby, you can make one too. I think you guys have high perception, right?
I don't know if my perception's high. My insight is.
Well, that's good too. So just roll perception
Can I grab a drink real quick?
as you guys leave.
Perception's +5. 21.
Oh, that and your high insight. And while you guys are walking out, you glance over here
Oh,
and you see all these graves. You assume of all the people that were killed here. And you kind of piece together, pun intended, of how the abbot built his bride.
Oh, do some of them look disturbed, or they look fresh enough for that?
Some of them look like they've been dug out.
Okay.
lovely.
I do wonder if the abbot is mistaking what he's thinking, or if it is just a twisted sense of what he's supposed to do. Like maybe one day he will be able to defeat Strahd using something, but if it's just been twisted in his head.
Like maybe the key to destroying Strahd lies with Ireena, but he doesn't
Get how it is.
Right.
His interpretation of it is cut her up and do that.
right.
But it's like totally something that got lost in translation.
Lost in
Yeah.
insanity.
As far as you guys can tell, you see no sign of him lying or deceiving you. It just seems, crazy.
Right.
Since we're out of there, that kind of thing's over. I did want to ask because in my notes I have that there. Hey Mina, what's up? What's wrong? Sorry. I have that my cards were a child and saving a child from a wolf was.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get the feeling that that has been completed when we saved the child
Yeah.
from?
And you also wonder that about this cleric that Esmeralda mentioned. Maybe it refers to the abbot, and if it does, you have no idea what to do about it.
Right.
Well, she saw her card showed a shadow of a cleric, druid, wizard, and paladin, and she guessed that you would either have to slay these people or redeem them, or some combination. I mean, if there's a cleric that you needed to kill or redeem, there was one there.
Yeah.
And now you're back in Kresk. If you wanted to ask Esmeralda any more questions, or the Burgomaster, or if you want to rest or whatever, buy stuff, whatever you want to do. And actually, I think the Burgomaster would probably be waiting for you guys when you come back down
Yeah, that sounds right.
at those gates. And he would be like, "Oh, you're still alive. That's very good."
Yes, we managed to avoid death somehow. But we met the abbot.
You met him. He was real.
Very
Very
real.
real.
And
What did-
unfortunately quite insane.
He grimaces a little bit. And he says, "Well, I'm glad you all survived. Did you slay him?"
No. We thankfully got out of that without resorting to combat, but he is alive.
He seems fixated on destroying Strahd, so that's good. But whether or not, well, he's just crazy. So whether or not he'll actually be successful, or is he potentially having the capacity to be successful, is here
Or
or there.
being misguided.
Hmm.
Perhaps we can set him on the right path. Some better prepared.
I suppose I will continue doing what I've always done and prevent anyone else from going up there
Oh yeah, that's smart.
and
Yes.
leave him be.
Yes.
It was
Especially if they're
like,
girls.
It was like the first thing in the morning when we went up there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So after the timer was up, yeah, it feels like it was that long.
Hmm.
What time of day is it?
You spent a lot more time walking up that winding road than you did actually in the Abbey. So it's probably only like 10 or 11 in the morning.
Cool. So that means we're gonna eat some food here in a bit.
Yeah.
Well, does he know where the temple is?
The Amber Temple.
Isn't that what it was?
It was on top of the mountain south, right?
Yeah. It's the same mountain that Burl saw in a vision.
But do we physically know how to get there from here, or not?
No, and the Burgomaster has no idea what it is.
Okay.
He
Well,
says
I'll be
there are ruins. Well, there's the Wizard of Wines to the south, and southwest of that is the ruins of Berez, a town that Strahd destroyed. And beyond that is the mountain. I don't know of any temples there.
I'll probably ask our pirate lady.
So when we came into this, there were what were our sort of paths we had to pursue? There was the werewolf and the abbey. Was that it? Those are the only leads we had.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. And that one random guard that wanted you guys to bring their wine.
Do your night stuff.
And that's like they said their wine
Sorry.
delivery had arrived or something.
Yeah. The Burgomaster didn't seem very concerned, but the guard did. So, are you gonna, Tommy? Were you gonna tell Esmeralda about that?
I was, yeah.
And I assume tell her about the abbot.
Yeah, and do we need to ask around about this Amber Temple as well?
Well, I was gonna ask Esmeralda about that for sure, if she had any knowledge.
All right.
She says, this. She says, I've never heard of a celestial creature that's insane like this. It's very disconcerting. Perhaps we should go back and kill him.
Um,
Maybe when I get my leg back.
Perhaps it's just not one of those places.
I haven't heard of this Ember Temple, but I in the notes I recovered from my mentor Van Richten at this Magus Tower, they mentioned this wizard that battled Strahd not 100 years ago, and of course there was this saint from this abbey, and a third rebellion, a group of paladins, knights from some faraway land. I believe they have the ruins of their keep is up that mountain there. I thought perhaps to investigate it at some point. I don't believe it would be considered any kind of Ember Temple, but it is in that direction. I don't think Strahd has any kind of power source or whatever at the keep of holy paladins, but I don't know. I've never been there.
Well, how do you feel about going on an adventure?
She says, "Well, yes, of course. I don't suppose you've found any 200-year-old wizards wandering around."
No, unfortunately not.
And you say this abbot mentioned speaking to this wizard. Hmm.
Oh,
He
yeah.
didn't.
Apparently the wizard asked a lot of the same questions we did, and then ultimately failed. So, yeah. So I think he's aware.
Interesting.
At least as crazy as he is, at least there's some pieces of history that are intact and not necessarily wrong.
But he didn't mention uh, a human recently, older man with sideburns, light hair. Did he mention him?
At least so.
I wonder why Van Richten did not decide to try to talk to this abbot.
Maybe he just didn't know. Maybe he did, and he wasn't perceived to be a wise wizard and have
Perhaps. Perhaps he knew that this abbot was insane. I don't know.
That Matt, he was a traveler with the big cat that was on the road.
No, that guy was half elf, and it's hard to discern the age of half elves, but he seemed younger and he didn't have sideburns.
Okay. Couldn't remember what he was
Esmeralda says, I don't know where this keep is, but I would be interested to see it. If that's where you all want to go, we can take my wagon here, maybe, if the roads are passable. Are you going to try to finish building her prosthetic?
when are we gonna leave? Like, how far away do we think those ruins are?
Depends on how hard it is to travel up the mountain. I mean, maybe a couple days, maybe longer. There's not really seasons here.
Okay.
It's always rainy and cold.
The Burgermeister said that this town basically thrives on crops growing, right?
Yeah.
So, like, is there a way to grow it? Or is it just kind of...
It's pretty much the same all the time, as if it's like a controlled greenhouse type thing.
Well, given the hospitality
So
Yeah.
this is kind of our home base right now. So we can leave whenever. So if y'all want to go later, just hang out, shop materials, and work this lake.
Okay, you guys can go ahead and mark off a long rest, and I guess you can tell me what you want to do.
Yeah.
We can take a couple of days of downtime. For the rest of the day, I would want to spend trying to gather materials to try and craft more potions.
Okay.
And tomorrow, I want to prepare an 8-hour ritual cast for Growth.
All right.
Enrich the land.
Yeah. Okay, make 2 survival checks to try to find ingredients to craft health potions.
I'm just going to put it at one.
Yeah, we'll just use those 2. Okay, well, it was actually the DC is actually 12, so you got, uh, let's say, enough to craft at least 1, maybe 2 or 3 potions of healing. So go ahead and roll your herbalism kit if you have that, or it would be wisdom plus proficiency. It'd be the same as survival actually, +8. Yeah, 25. So you managed to get 3 regular potions of healing out of that. So you can add that to your inventory.
I think I already made one, but maybe it doesn't work.
Yeah, you're not sure. The color's a little off on it.
Okay.
Is there anything else the rest of you guys want to do, like talk to people or shopping for stuff or anything like that?
Yeah, I might as well see. Like, does anyone around here have any old relics of magic or any magical armor or anything like that that's been passed down that we could see if it could help us on Strahd? Not even in the shop, but like in any of these areas.
Make a investigation check.
This ain't gonna be a good roll, I can already tell.
Or you can roll a nat 20.
Oh god.
So you
I have a -1, that's why.
you wander around asking people. Eventually, the old woman whose house you guys are staying in, this big house, she's the burgomaster's. Did I say she was his sister-in-law, something like that, widowed? She tells you that I heard a story of a sword that was wielded by the brother of Strahd. He was a godly man, and when Strahd slayed his brother and became a monster, this he gave this blade to one of his followers to destroy it, and this something for some reason Strahd feared this blade, and they this follower betrayed Strahd. They broke the sword into 2 pieces, and one side was salvaged while the other one was lost. And there's been many heroic types that thought they might find this sword and reforge it and destroy Strahd. Many young boys like to play out this fantasy that they've heard.
This fantasy, do you believe it?
I don't believe anyone could destroy Strahd with just a sword. I'm not sure if I believe his brother was a godly man. His brother may have been just as bad as him.
And was this brother killed near here, or at Strahd's castle, or how would I go about
Oh.
starting finding this sword if I ever wanted to look for it?
The story is that uh, on on his brother's wedding night, Strahd slayed his brother and bathed in his blood in a ritual. And when his brother's young bride found out, she threw herself from the battlements of the castle. I don't believe there would be any way to track down uh, this brother if he ever even existed. You know, you can't trust all these stories. Maybe Strahd spread this rumor himself, trying to get heroic types to come around his castle so he could eat them. I don't know.
I really wouldn't put that past him, honestly.
Well, thank you, old lady.
She says, "You ever heard the story of old Berez?
Of who?
Old Berez, the city of town of Berez.
No, no, never have I ever.
You know, there's a lot of stories. One story is that Strahd he fell in love with the the daughter of the one of the one of the farmers there, and she resisted her father. She wanted to leave and go be with the devil Strahd. He's he's very charismatic and entrancing, and this girl's father he killed his own daughter to keep her from going to Strahd. And when Strahd found out, he rose up a great storm and an earthquake, and left their whole town with just smoldering ruins. Now they say an old witch lives there.
A kind old witch or a bad old witch?
If that tale's true, that's an unhallowed place. I can't imagine anyone good wanting to live in a place like that.
Okay.
Same could be basically said of all of Barovia.
Yeah.
I cast the cure wounds on her feet. She's so old.
Oh yeah.
Hey, thanks for them stories. Appreciate it.
She said, "Oh, that's better than the holy waters. What is that's impressive. I used to soak my feet in the pool down there, but they told me to stop."
Because they're by using it to drink or something.
It's around. I guess Swain does.
Yeah, there's several different things you can make with it. Honey is one of them, but I think if like we're wanting to specifically make like money, you can actually do like acid, and you can make like poison and acid with it. So
Yeah, it's under loot
I have it right here if you want to see it. I can just,
on the journal. It's under loot.
there you go.
Thinking less about making money and more about doing kind of work with different folks around here and when they're willing to talk to us and point us in the right direction, offer them up some things they might not get as good otherwise.
Yeah.
A gallon of honey is quite a
It also
bit.
gives it just water, which is good because clean water is not something that you get a lot here.
I gotta check on my daughter. I'll be right back.
Okay.
A gallon of honey's a lot. It's not as much as 2 gallons of mayonnaise, but still,
Yeah.
so much mayonnaise.
Like, probably buying jars for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Honestly, for that matter, you could probably just offer a gallon of mayonnaise. Keep it still. There's 8 pints in a gallon. Offer whoever sells the jars 2 free pints of honey in exchange for 8 jars.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Don't spend anything, and you can make a bunch of honey to give out to people.
Yep. And probably even more like I know that you can get a gallon of honey, but truthfully, just having oil is probably
Yeah.
maybe even more
Oil.
useful to them because it can make also it can also make a quart of oil.
Yeah.
They can use that for cooking and all kinds of stuff
Hmm.
for mechanics or lubrications.
Seems like it's like an extra jug of alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also just fresh water source for us if we can't get clean water.
Or 4 gallons of beer per day.
Oh yeah, 4 gallons of beer. Unless they got an ant problem, we can make vinegar.
Yep.
I've done what I wanted to find out.
Okay, does anybody else want to do anything while you're here? Ask questions,
Uh,
buy stuff, anything like that?
I mean, other than just like helping people, I mean, anything that would be useful to help me create and craft on that leg and work on that leg,
Okay, roll your Tinker's tools, which would be intelligence plus proficiency.
which is basically just uncommon.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's not good.
Yeah, on this day, when you try to work on it, it's not going well. You don't really understand how the old one was made, and you get distracted. You get distracted by the gallons of honey.
Pretty sweet honey though.
Yeah. Dio, is there anything you want to do?
What were you trying to do, Swain?
Work
I'm
on that
trying to build a
prosthetic.
prosthetic legs for her since she only has one leg.
I can't think of anything specific. I mean, I feel like he would want to make sure the kids that they saved are doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
He knows Gertruda's nowhere in this city or town,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So
Alright, I'm back. Welcome back. Oh.
Is there anything that Ruby or Ireena wants to do?
While we're still in town, or are we about to?
Yeah, still in town.
Uh, what is the plan right now? Is it still daytime?
Yeah, gonna hang around for a few days and then leave.
Okay.
So you have a few days. If you want to ask people stuff or buy stuff or whatever.
Don't know if I want to buy anything. You know what I do want to do if we're here is maybe get another reading with the cards. Since my cards have actually come true, I want to
Mhm.
ask her since my cards came true. At least I think they do.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get another reading, or how does that work? I don't know how that works for the cards.
She says, "I can try. The more times you ask fate, the more unclear it becomes. I will try it again."
I'll ask her, like, what do you think? Should I wait a while?
She says, "If we're about to go off on an adventure, it might be a good time. I don't know. It's your choice."
Sure then. But it doesn't have to be right now if anybody else wants to do anything.
She says, uh, "This is the card of the sun. Uh, the sun can mean many things, but the sun will illuminate something for you in the future." And she flips over another card. The raven. Raven represents mysteries, hidden things, secrets. uh, Strahd's family has the raven as their icon, but ravens are not servants of Strahd. She says, I don't know what this means, but just keep your eye on the ravens in the." And then she turns another card and she says, "Oh, the paladin card, but you're a cleric, right? Your friend is a paladin. Uh, this paladin has a secret. Perhaps you can find it." She says, "As I said, the hard part's the interpretation." And she picks all her cards back up. Um, she says, "You can spend all day trying to figure out what the cards mean and never actually take action and fulfill them."
Thank you for doing that.
So when I'm doing the I want to like kind of see if I can find whoever is in charge of the farming here,
Mm-hmm.
and talk to them about it, get an idea about what what their process is, what are they growing. All here in town, do they grow outside of the city walls?
I guess it would be the burgomaster. He would tell you that they only have small gardens in town because they grow a lot of trees in town. Outside the town, in a kind of a circular radius, is where a lot of their crops are. They grow just, wheat and barley and potatoes, I guess.
Do they grow for just subsistence, or do they grow for trade?
The only trade they have is with the winery. They send food in exchange for wine. That's it.
So when you came into town with your garden, your wine delivery had some losses. You all sent food.
Yes, the wine they send wine about once a month. Their wine is excellent. It helps the people uh, stay happy. It's very important.
How much of a lay has this winery been on?
It's been perhaps close to 2 months. It's a little behind.
Oh, are you aware that there's lots?
No, but there are many dangers in Barovia. There are many complications to the winemaking process. I'm not too worried. If it goes on too long, perhaps I'll send a messenger.
How near is this winemaking community with which you trade?
It is perhaps a few days from here. There are roads. It is to the south. The family. Let me make sure I got the family name right. Oh, the Mardukov family that runs the winery. They're very strange. They like to keep to themselves. My my grandmother was a Mardukov. We have we share blood from back there, but not close to them. But we do continue the trade.
So, what time did I mention earlier that some of the range is wanted to share
double.
Third.
That uh, I can't thank you enough. I trust you to do whatever you to to take any kind of use any kind of your magic you wish, especially if it's going to help us. But you saved my son, so I will allow you to do whatever you wish here. If you wish to take some of this food with you, of course, do so. If this is true, doubling the yield, that could we could really improve our town.
It is no fast process. Not years. Hopefully, it will bring prosperity to
He says, "I don't know how I can thank all of you any more than I already have, but we are in your debt."
showing our appreciation. Do ask, what sort of kind of news have you catch word of other places?
We get uh, traders from Vallaki sometimes come here to buy the wine. Uh, Occasionally they travel through for other reasons, but that's
What would the connection I have that very strong, very personal. There are places here that struggle to grow, places where water does take flight.
I imagine there are many such places, but the one I know specifically is unhallowed ground, is the old ruins of Berez. What if the legends are true? Strahd brought his wrath down upon that town, and now nothing can grow there. It's probably dangerous, but you've already faced dangers and survived.
Seems like anywhere you go, there's danger waiting. If I'm gonna come to my home, this is gonna be
He says, if the people from your home are like you, then I understand why you wish to return there and not stay here.
what you've done, what you have delivered. But
If there's anything else we can provide, just let us know.
Is there a local tavern?
Yeah?
I'm gonna be right back in just a sec.
Okay.
Can you give me directions to that?
It's at the sort of kind of town square down here. I can't remember if I made a name for it or not. I think it may be something to do with wine. I don't remember.
So you'll come there?
It's like the Suns something. The I don't remember. Anyway, it's a tavern, and they serve really really bad homemade barley beer and really good wine, dark purple wine. And they give you whatever drinks or food that you request for free because they know what you did for the town. But their food is kind of mostly vegetables. It's not amazing, but I guess Ireena is used to another shitty town, so it probably wouldn't bother her. Um, pretty much all the talk that you notice is about you guys. And you do overhear the only thing that is really catches your notice as being like, significant is two of the farmer men talking quietly about Esmeralda and how they don't want her in their town because they like Vistani. But otherwise, it's all positive stuff. There is a couple of mentions of not having more wine shipments in, but that's about it. Yeah, it's a million times better than the wine at your hometown. Is there anything else anybody wants to do? I guess, Tommy, you can make another Tinker's Tools check for the next day to work on the prosthetic. Yeah, that's much better. So you kind of get it somewhat functional, and she straps it on, and it's going to take a little bit for you guys to adjust it to get it to fit to her right, but it seems somewhat functional now.
Nice. Definitely make improvements on it as we go.
Yeah, put a jetpack on it or something.
Make it a weapon.
So, where would you guys like to go now? I guess I'll bring up the map.
That's a good question.
I think we were gonna go check out that town that got destroyed, right? That we thought could potentially be the Amber. Excuse me. The Amber Temple. Like they don't know where it is, neither did she. But there was a thought that this place where was it the Paladins? Is that where they were?
The ruins are of the Berez are kind of on the flatlands. It's actually not too far behind the uh, old bone grinder mill.
So, but we're looking for something on top of a hill or mountain, right?
Yeah, traveling up the mountain, there's supposedly the keep of some old knights that tried to fight Strahd.
So that is probably where we want to go because that's more than likely going to be well, not more than likely, but like if we're trying to find the Ember Temple, that's probably the only thing that we know that could be the Ember Temple. Is that what we were picking up on? Or?
It's the closest thing you have. It's a thing that's up the mountain, so yeah, if that's is that where you guys want to go?
I mean, I'll suggest it. I don't know what Esmeralda or anybody else thinks
Can you
about
blast on the map of where we are right now?
Yeah, Kresk is right there. If you guys can see that ping, it's up in the top left.
Mountain that they've talked about is Mount Jacket.
Yeah, so it's a pretty long journey, but
it. We started
yeah, it's pretty far.
here, so we went quite a ways.
Yeah,
That town that they put Strahd as escalated
it would be somewhere around here.
around here.
Yeah, somewhere around there in these flatlands that lead up to the mountain, along the river.
What
So
are
it'd be
these
on the way.
dotted? What are these dotted lines?
I believe that is a ruined road, so it would probably not be on any maps that you guys would be able to see. I guess that's what it is.
And Mount Gacus is where you went when you were up there.
Yeah, and it's the mountain that Burl saw in a vision.
But no one knows.
Right, exactly. And they tell you exactly where the Wizards of Wines is. It's right here. Obviously, that doesn't seem as pressing, but I mean, that is where it is.
Where was that stone circle that we stopped at?
It was right here behind old Bone Grinder.
Okay. Okay. So you started like you well, this group started hearing the lot
Yeah.
and then you crossed this bridge, came home here, and then kind of through here.
Yep. You're pretty much on the edge of the realm now. So, do you guys want to start traveling up the mountain?
Yeah, I think this. We should probably just take this road right here.
Yeah.
All right. Let me check that.
Do you guys just want to go right here to Castle Ravenloft?
Just
Hiding
end
right
it.
now?
Just end it right now.
Yep. All right.
Oh, we took a rest, long rest, didn't we?
Yeah.
We did.
Speaking of rest, um, did I have any more weird things to do?
Nope. Not yet. So, on the first day of travel, I need. Let's see. Anybody with that feels like they have high perception can roll a perception check.
Feels like it.
Yeah. I should probably just pick two people to be perceptors. Oh, well, plus 8. 28. All right.
I'd do it.
Um,
Yeah.
on the road here, Ireena, during the first day, you see something scurry off into the woods, and you swear it looked like a. I don't know if you would know what a turkey is, but it was almost turkey shaped, like it was a large bird that was walking like a person. It was just a weird shape, something you've never seen before. Kind of. It looks like a large bird that was running on the ground and not flying. Probably something that Ireena's never seen before.
How would you react to that, Ireena?
Hey, did you guys see that? That feather thing running off into the woods?
But the thing,
How do you know what that was?
you mean like a bird?
It's giant. Yeah, it
Oh,
was a bird. But it was running instead of flying.
And it was dark colored.
Joe's probably like, you mean like a winged velociraptor?
That sounds the most like alien creature I've ever heard.
Mm, probably not.
It looked like a mosquito.
It's almost like a really fast penguin.
That's awesome.
Creature creates one.
You just
How long was
described the
how,
new Sonic the Hedgehog game and his new
no.
partner.
Um,
how long were we traveling this?
this is the first day.
Well, I mean, how far? I guess how far in?
Afternoon.
None of the rest of us saw
Yeah.
How far away was it?
Tommy, would you
Uh,
like to send up a familiar?
Him.
Make a
Um,
perception check for your owl.
British East Pocket
ooh.
Edition.
The owl should have its own stats.
Oh,
Right.
Tommy,
And I
you
believe
missed a
it
great opportunity to name your owl Owlister
yeah,
instead of Alistair.
that'd have been way better. Yeah, I believe owls get advantage on perception using sight.
Oh, well, in that case, we're looking.
I do like that the map says one square is a fourth of a mile, but they're not squares.
Yeah,
Nope.
it actually rolled 21 stealth, so you don't see it. But I will say that you can, because of your background, I'll let you make a Arcana check based on her description. Um, yeah, it doesn't really bring anything to mind, but you don't see any threats with your owl, so you feel confident that you're okay.
Yeah. I don't care about no fat chickens, fat guard fat.
Maybe set out to try and track this thing down, whatever it was. I'm curious, but
So with
not
my
pathetic.
perception of this creature, did it appear to be just running away, scared because of our party's presence, or
Probably, yeah.
so normal animal behavior movement,
Yeah, somewhat. Though it did seem really sneaky.
like it was spying on us?
Possibly, or at least it was trying to hide from you.
Does it seem to have like when for instance when we kind of approached where she saw it cross the road, do I pick up any sort of unique scent from it?
Um, you could make a perception check, or you could try a survival check for tracking.
I have advantage on checks as well.
Ooh. You actually do find some traces, not necessarily smell, but you find traces of someone that was just here. Looks like small human prints, not bird prints.
Was this just three halflings and a bird?
Well,
God.
it'd be closer to the size of a halfling, so it'd be have one halfling in a bird suit. It looks like it's going off to the south into the woods, toward the river.
Okay. And the river's not that far away.
Yeah, not far at all.
We were second.
Is this literally a wild
Possibly.
That would be
We have
genius.
nothing else to do right between Thanksgiving, so you want to go?
Uh,
I'll say, Swain, you can roll Arcana again since you gained more information.
Oh, I think I already know as a player what it is, but based on your description, but I would.
Yeah, roll it again. See if you can get higher. Nope. Or no, Arcana.
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah, 22.
is it
Um,
a were raven?
when she mentions that it's like a bird, but then you see human-like tracks. You've heard tales of variations of lycanthropy, like a were raven,
Yeah.
and
There's bears, there's werewolves, there's birds, there's all kinds of creatures.
you know that were ravens are known for being less aggressive and sometimes even like like you can talk to them and stuff, but you've never actually interacted with one. So
No, but I've heard stories of a lot of them before in my time, you know, traveling forgotten realms in search of the unholy and the extra,
yep.
whatever you call it.
So do you tell everybody about that?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
was
Well,
basically living this life where I was like Sam and Dean Winchester, but by myself, facing all the supernatural stuff.
yeah. Well, it's up to you guys if you want to try to track a were raven.
I don't have an interest in doing that, but
I don't either. It's
I say let it be. We need to hurry up and find a good spot for staying the night somewhere.
Yep.
right. That takes priority.
It looks like you could probably build a good camp right by the river if that's what you wanted to do. You could possibly even head all the way up to that tower again and stay there if you wanted.
well, the tower's like right here, right?
Yeah.
I think we're better off heading in this direction instead of north.
You're around this bridge when it starts to become nightfall. So if you wanted to travel a little longer, you could stay at the tower. You could set up a camp on the river or whatever you want to do.
How long would it take to get to the tower from here?
Couple hours, yeah.
Might as well just set up camp right here then, down the side of the river. Or go ahead and cross the river and then set up camp.
Are you guys gonna try to set it up where it's hidden or anything like
Yeah.
that?
Wherever we set camp,
No, but
The title.
I remember what it does. It's similar to the tiny hut. Protects you guys while you sleep.
You mean this thing?
Yeah, I think it's similar to that. Yeah.
yeah, because this requires no spell slot or anything.
Mhm.
It's not protective in that like creatures could come into it if they did, but while inside, everyone gets a bonus because their stealth will remain hidden from the perception check and any blinding stuff and anything outside.
Yeah, so it'd be extremely hard to notice you.
Right? It's not like protected like a tiny hut where you can exclude creatures from coming in.
Yeah.
But we can stack them, right? We can stack it, right?
If you wanted to.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys could all fit quite comfortably because it's only a 10-foot radius. It says 9 creatures if you're smaller can fit inside of it, but I don't know if
I'm
that
pretty
includes
small.
lying down.
I mean, you could fit. It just might be a little snug.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you would care about that.
Yeah, I can just like put my tiny hut inside of your thing.
Yeah, if you guys want to be protected and invisible, basically.
Mine's a ritual cast, so it literally doesn't.
Yeah, you can do both of those, and nobody has to use a spell slot. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that is really good.
So you guys set up your magic, and you're all kind of crammed in this circle with your sleeping bags, but the uh, hut is protecting you from basically anything from the outside, and then the wagon. Wait, I assume you guys were going to travel with Esmeralda, right? After you built your leg and all that. Okay. Well, assume that the wagon should fit inside the hearth because it's 30-foot radius. That's really far. So
We should make it like if this is the thing that he makes, and then mine is like that.
yeah,
That way
Yeah. And is anybody gonna stay up to watch, or do you want to like rotate watch?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, Dio, make a perception check. I just chose you randomly because you said it first.
That's fair.
But you guys are gonna rotate, so
Can my owl be awake the whole time, even if I'm not awake, to help whoever's doing it?
yeah,
So I have advantage.
sure. Yeah, I mean you're being assisted by a familiar, so sure. So let me see here. Let me see if this character rolls a nat 20 to perception. No, they don't. Okay, so you see, you hear a horse coming down the road,
The werehorse.
and horses are rare in this place.
Horses are rare in this place?
They're rare in this place, very rare.
No. Get
I feel
it?
like we've seen several.
Well, Esmeralda's horses are summoned. She stole one from the Vistani. The Vistani have some, and the rich people have some, and Strahd has skeleton horses, but
Like the half elf had a horde.
yeah.
She stole a horde. What else? Oh, and there's the donkey.
Yeah, the donkey. But I assume you left the donkey in the hag cart back at Kresk.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so Dio, you notice you just stay quiet, of course, and just
Right.
watch, and you trust the magic of your companions,
Right.
and you in the moonlight you spot a figure riding a horse down the road who does not seem to notice you at all. It's just riding down the road, and when he gets closer, it looks like a skeletal horse being ridden by some kind of creepy looking man who kind of reminds you of that revenant that you guys ran into a long time ago that killed one of your friends.
Yeah.
Jeez,
And you just see it pass by and pays no heed to you at all and just keeps riding.
Yep. Definitely not gonna make a sound. Yep.
Killed one of your friends.
yeah. Well, he was a creep.
If you consider him a friend, sure.
Traveling companion.
Yep. That was Dan's first character.
Yep.
And nothing else of note happens during the day. And you guys can continue on to the south.
Cool.
Cool.
I'm going to roll again.
Yeah, me too.
Mm. Yeah, that's it. Let me check this one out real quick. Okay, the next day, let's say Burl make a survival check. Hmm. 16, alright. You, on the side of the road here, off to the west, you notice three small steel traps that are attached to trees by chains, kind of bear trap side, like bear trap style, but a little smaller. And they look like they've not been springed yet, but it catches your attention. They've been kind of hidden, but you notice them under some bushes and stuff. They don't look like they've been there for a long time. to the side.
On
It's set in a part of the woods that's sort of a opening, sort of a, if you were to walk into the woods, sort of a natural trail kind of thing. And across that opening is where these traps are set. I don't know if you guys care to stop or you just want to keep riding.
and I'll put them at the side again.
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of odd that. So is it? It's close to the road, right?
Yeah. Close enough to see it from your carriage.
Kind of odd to hunt that close to the road, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is Barovia.
Fair enough. You don't want to go
that
deep
deep
into the
into the woods,
woods.
right?
Nah, that's fair.
All right, the next night I assume you guys want to do the same kind of setup.
Yeah.
There's not a river here, but it's starting to get up to the start of the mountains. You build your double-decker domes, and you don't have any kind of notable encounters that night.
Okay.
And on the third day, before we start, I'm going to run to the bathroom really fast. Be right back. Okay.
That was quick.
Is everybody here?
No. Nope.
Can you stop talking about going back to normal work schedule, or work home, or rotating wherever they go? Okay.
Uh, I'm here.
Okay.
Nope, dancing.
Yeah, I don't get. Like he just.
So are you reporting work like normal, or what?
Uh, I've been working remotely since like before mid-March, and they're gonna keep us working remotely as far as I know, until May 15th. But they've extended it like 3 times, so I'm anticipating them extending it again, probably.
Your work is fairly seamless to do from home, right?
It's pretty seamless. I mean, there are a few things that are slower, but otherwise, it's pretty much the difference.
You're just working on your own way.
Yeah, exactly.
You can work from
I mean, not really. All the paperwork we have to do is online anyway.
the place where I work is super tons of computers.
Jeez.
So I can do basic tasks in the office.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the worst thing is that obviously since everyone's working from home, like IT issues have like quadrupled.
Okay, I'm back. I got some water too.
Yeah.
All right, everybody good to go?
Yep.
Yep.
So on the third day, let's say around midday, uh, when you expect the road is going to hit the Luna River soon. Damn it! I keep accidentally dragging the road off of the map. Um, you expect you expect the road to hit the Luna River soon, and you're meandering up the forested slope of the mountain here, and off to your right you see a lake open up, and overlooking the lake you see looks like some kind of structure. High above the river valley, there's a quiet promontory upon which looms a sepulchral mansion. Its turrets capped with fairy tale cones, its towers lined with sculpted battlements. It looks like a third of the structure has collapsed, as is part of the roof, but the rest appears intact. A dark, a dark octagonal tower rises above the surrounding architecture. Out of the fog in the lower lands, you hear a distant peal of thunder, and then howling of wolves in the woods below. But the house stands silent, seeming like the fossilized remains of some long dead thing smote upon the mountainside. What would you like to do?
How far away from this are we?
Uh, let's say a few hundred yards, close enough to get a good look at it.
Okay.
Is it right here on the map? That octagonal.
I think so, yeah.
You say it's foggy, right?
Yeah, well, the mists are perpetual, but
Right.
here the mists are kind of sitting on the top of the mountain and down the kind of river valley.
And is this some sort of thing that prevents us from going through like a gate or something?
Nope.
What is this stuff?
Don't know.
Like if you zoom in really far, you see that
Mhm.
there's like the octagonal tower, and then a couple other little structures that looks like the road goes right in the middle.
It might be two like gate towers, like on that other place, something like that. They would be abandoned, so nothing of note there.
Gotcha. What time? It's about midday, you said, right?
Yeah.
It's right up there. It's close to me.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, if you want to, I feel like we've been having some decent success just ignoring crap and trying to get to where we're going. But if you want to check it out, have any qualms with that?
Yeah. I think that'd probably be fine.
I will.
All right. Well, conveniently we have an overhead view of this place. So, um, flying up, you notice in this front area right here.
So I'm just saying I'm seeing nothing but black.
Yeah, I'll note.
Okay,
Maybe our
let me
tokens are still on the other.
yeah, let me drop your tokens in. That's probably what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that did that work?
We can see. I mean, it's got dynamic lighting on and stuff, but yeah,
Yeah,
we can see.
Yeah, that dynamic lighting's pretty hilarious right now.
yeah, you can see through the windows. So right here, well, really Burl's out in front because he's flying, but here you see a statue. Where'd my thing go? A dragon statue perched atop a 10-foot wide, 10-foot high cube of granite is a moss covered statue of a dragon, its wings tucked close to its body, and the statue looks east toward the mansion. You see steps leading up to the mansion, and here on this backside you see a big chunk of the mansion has been completely destroyed as it's part of the roof. The rest of it's in decent shape, but it looks run down. Do you want to get closer to when you as you're flying over?
Yeah, I want to try and get a peek of whatever I can see.
Okay, make a perception check. Okay, but I believe you have advantage on perception checks that rely on sight. Yeah, so 18. You actually spot a few skittering insect-like shapes from this destroyed portion of the castle. Down here, you see some insect-type like shapes skittering around in the destroyed part of the tower, or the destroyed part of the mansion. And as far as the rest of it, you notice back in the back to the left, or not left, the north, I guess, there's a fenced-in graveyard with some kind of mausoleum building in the back part of it. And there's a second floor, and there's 3 floors actually. Yeah, this building has 3 floors. And this southern part of the building, the top parts of the floors are completely gone. And that's pretty much all you can see. You do see this octagonal tower kind of sticking out. Yeah, it's like on the higher. Yeah, it's back toward the opposite end of the building, and looks like there's some kind of beacon type fire torch thing, huge on top of the octagonal tower, and that's all you can see. Yeah, like a large circular sconce, I guess, that could be used as like a beacon or a. Yeah, it's not currently lit. Part of the roof is fallen in, and over here on the south side, the second and third floors on that part of the building is completely gone. Let me double check to see if you'd be able to see anything. You notice a large hole in the center of the roof, as well as the southern side that's been ripped off, basically. But in the direct center of the building is a hole that's ripped through, and you see another dragon statue on the roof to the north side that possibly had a mirroring one on the south side, but you can't. But it's gone now if there was. And in that hole, you don't see anything moving. The only thing you've seen that's moving is some kind of insect type of shape on the ground floor.
I'm planning on close to see what those are.
Yeah, make another perception check. It's kind of partially covered in wreckage, so just to see what you can see in there. Oh yeah, that's. It looks like a little nest of. Are these what I think they are? Let me double check.
What?
Let me double check. Yeah, yeah. It looks like a nest of giant spiders that are sealed off in here. With your high perception roll, you can tell that all the doors leading to the rest of the castle look like they're closed. So this little opened area, because it's open because of the destroyed parts, has been taken up by some big ass spiders.
My ballpark comment.
Maybe 10 or so.
Okay.
And you didn't see any signs of spider webs in any other parts of the mansion.
One of them will that right.
Seems like it. Unless you want to eradicate some spiders.
Okay. Then I will turn
Esmeralda says, well, that sounds like that's it. Let's go check it out. While I try to find her token. There we go.
So this is it then.
It's not this Ember Temple, I don't think. It's looks more like the little keep of these foolish knights. I feel like Dio might be a little offended by her calling the knights foolish.
Yeah. I think he'd be more preoccupied with the place, though. At this point.
And as you guys pass by this dragon statue, hang on just a second.
Yeah.
As soon as you step foot on these stairs, the dragon statue starts to move. It opens its mouth and exhales, but the only thing that happens is you feel a stream of cold air come out of it. Then the mouth shuts, and nothing else happens.
Can I make an Arcana check to see if that's tied to something else that activates it? Like,
Yeah, go for it. With that high of a roll, you know that silver dragons breathe ice, and this cold air is either a weird imitation of the dragon's breath, or perhaps some kind of. Since it triggered when he stepped on the front steps, perhaps it was a cone of cold spell that has since perhaps faded or been deactivated.
interesting.
You don't see any clues that it did anything other than blow cold air.
I see.
He's gonna go up another step.
Nothing happens.
Alright.
I guess I could. I mean, that's up to you guys. I can ritual cast detect magic. Just to have it up.
That'd probably be a good idea.
All right.
How long does detect magic last?
10 minutes.
Okay.
So while he pulls his spellbook out and starts casting his ritual, Ireena and Dio, you notice um, with these tall wooden doors here, the uh, knockers are shaped like small dragons.
He said knockers.
Knockers, yep. And carved into the lintel above the entrance is the word Argynvostholt. Yeah, it's a proper name, but it is that is what it says. I will post it in the chat, I guess. Argynvostholt.
Argynvostholt. Okay.
Which Dio, you might gather, could translate into the hold or keep of someone maybe named Argynvost, or some variation of that.
Keep of Argynvost.
Is there anything that the rest of you do while he finishes casting a spell? Esmeralda would probably think it's a good idea to detect magic, and she would wait.
Yeah. I think Dio's just counting himself lucky he didn't die from a cone of cold or something.
Yep. So when the ritual finishes, um, I'm not sure if you ever. I'm not sure if I mentioned this or if it could possibly have been noticed before, but you do notice magic coming from the orb um, that Burl took from the mill. It looks like enchantment is the school of magic to that. And this statue has an aura of evocation magic. Yeah. Or there was either one or two, I can't remember. Yeah, it was missing. And did you take both of the other two? They'll both radiate enchantment magic. And the dragon statue radiates evocation magic. And you don't see anything else in the area that radiates magic. Except for magic items that Esmeralda has. And I guess your armor, I guess. Alright, you guys gonna check the door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The doors are unlocked. And when you open it, you see a dark foyer or foyer or whatever beyond. You see a staircase and not much else.
The real room, like,
Okay, make an investigation check. These dotted lines are areas where there's a ledge or a floor above. And here in this center part is open to the upper floor.
I see. Okay.
Ireena, you notice not much here. There's a tall faded tapestry depicting a nobleman in silver armor. And it hangs from an iron rod above the staircase landing. And you also see on the walls there are busts of men, handsome looking men. And this fourth one seems to have been knocked over and shattered. And there are two massive iron chandeliers hanging over this room. You also notice stairs, or let's see, four doors and two sets of stairs that lead upstairs, and a door back here that's open, and a door back here that's closed. So I guess that's 6 doors total, besides the one you came in. And with your investigation, you don't see any signs of people coming in here anytime recently. So, what would you guys like to do? I have to keep checking what you guys can see, so because I don't know exactly how the lighting is in here. I guess you can see in the room, but the walls are blocking.
You said there was a door that closed.
Yeah, it's back here. Okay, you peek in there, and it looks like a dining hall. There's a 20-foot long table with sculpted dragons for legs, and the chairs that surround the table have backs that have been carved to resemble folded dragon wings, and several of the chairs have been overturned or smashed to pieces. And above the table is a crystal chandelier that glows with a soft white light. And standing in windowed alcoves are two life-size statues in these corners, depicting knights with dragon-winged helms and shields. And the misty rain is trickling through cracks in the ceiling, flowing down the west wall and leaving a puddle on the floor here.
Is there anything in this room that I pick up with my like magic
No.
feeling, or if I walk in here, do I see anything in there?
No.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and pop Divine Sense here.
You,
I'm trying to be like,
yeah,
I guess.
you do not sense anything in that area.
Okay. I'm gonna follow Ireena, I think.
As you go into this room, something triggers your divine sense, but it's not in this room. It's in another room, which a door is open to back here.
Kind of thing.
And Ireena, when you peek in that open door, you see some figures standing strangely in the back of this room. Uh, you see cracked wooden pillars that support a wooden U-shaped balcony that overhangs. It looks like a chapel, and there's a narrow archway that leads to spiral staircases that curl up to the balcony. And a door set in the north wall has a wooden beam barring it. At the east end of the chapel, there's a stone altar with iron candelabras. And the altar is carved with the rising sun bas-relief, which you recognize to be the sign of the Morning Lord. And there are tall arcing windows with stained glass. And one of the windows has been shattered, covering the floor with shards of colored glass. And through the fog that's coming in through the open door, you can see they're actually not standing. They're 3 figures kneeling before the
Brett,
altar.
Yeah, Joe disconnected. He's just now reconnected.
Oh, okay.
The last thing he asked was whether I can
They are kneeling before an altar, and they seem strange, but you don't exactly recognize what they are. Though Dio, you do pick them up as being undead
Alright.
with your divine sense.
Dio's gonna prep a halberd. Or not halberd,
Are you gonna let? I mean,
javelin.
yeah. I mean, if that's the case, I'm probably gonna go ahead and cast some spells too.
They do not seem to have noticed you guys.
Like
And
this.
Right.
And actually, you know what? I might as well go ahead.
Um, Esmeralda casts protection from evil and good on Dio, and she says, "Get in there, get in
All
there,
right.
big boy. Get in there, big boy."
Big boy?
She's not saying that because you're big. Like, she's
Yeah.
saying that because you have a big penis.
Good, good. That's,
Yeah,
Dio
it's
would
implied.
like that, right?
Deal with absolutely.
So, I'm trying to debate it. I guess I could just walk in and just throw a javelin as my opening move and then charge in, maybe.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
I think that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Joe, what were you saying?
Say, I mean, would you spot these guys? You know, like if I could tell us what you saw or something? Or
Yeah,
would you?
sure. I can definitely do that. I can do that.
Oh, Dio sensed them
I,
as
gi-
well.
I give Dio a little pull on his arm and say,
What sort
"Are
of
you gonna?
alert was
Should
brought
you
to
try
the
to
rest
bring
of us?
them in here and set an ambush?"
Ah, that's a good idea.
What's this big puddle of water on the floor?
Um, the misty rain outside has been coming in through cracks in the ceiling, and they're collecting on the floor there.
I got you. Okay, okay. I heard you.
I think what Ruby said is good. I'm gonna draw them out here. We'll ambush them.
Esmeralda says, "I like the way you think." She hides over here.
I can make my spirit guardian, and when they have to walk through the door, they get smacked.
Oh, yeah, yeah. All right. So, Dio's gonna walk through the door.
Don't do it yet. Tell us what you're gonna do.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it. I'm still gonna. I think I'm gonna hurl a javelin anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and then scream to get their attention, and then run through the back. Like, gonna step through the door, step out of the door and out of their sight. Right. So then they'll
Mm-hmm.
come. Logically, they should come through the door.
As you're as you're discussing this, you see the closest figure that's armored starts to stand up from his kneeling position.
Who sees it? Dio does.
Yeah, well, I think Ireena could see it too. I'm not sure. Let me
Okay.
check. But that you can kind of see that figure there that's closest is starting to get up from his kneeling position. It's the first time you've seen them move.
What?
It's the first time you've seen them move at all.
All right, everyone, get into position, I guess.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
ready to
going to
go.
make my guardian of faith.
Good.
Okay. Where do you want to put him?
I guess if his radius, any hostile creature that moves to space within 10 feet of the guardian, I guess I want to get it on this side of the wall where they
Mhm.
don't see it until they have to walk through the door, and by then it would be kind of too late. They would get hit by it. So within 10 feet of that doorway.
Yeah.
So
So
somewhere
like right
around
there.
here.
Okay, you cast that.
And I put it there because I wanted to kind of be between Ireena and them.
Sure. Where are
So
you going, Ruby?
I can just move right here beside it.
Yeah.
so Swain cast a spell to power up his armor, and Ruby summoned a spirit, a guardian guy. Esmeralda is gonna try to hide, and
So is Swain like right there?
Like, I can't really get between things. I don't want them to see me, but I want to be ready to put my Scorcher down, because I can shoot it in a straight line. So
Mhm.
if they all come marching through in a line, I'll use my Scorcher.
All right. That's
okay, Ireena, what do you do?
wish you had command Dio, then you could yell like, "Hey, come get me!" Like,
Right. Force. But,
I mean, he could still yell that, and there's a good chance they probably would just come after him.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And
You'd have to command them to do that.
No,
Yeah.
I think they would come pretty easily.
And Burl, what are you gonna do?
Well, with the plan with Strahd, I was ready to bury fire, and
Mm-hmm.
he hurls the javelin, you know that I'm
All right. So,
We got our plan.
so Dio, you're gonna go. You can go ahead and chunk your javelin.
Yep. All right. He's gonna step through. Oh God. What just happened? Okay. Anyway, he's gonna step through the. It's a little awkward. Okay. Fine. Steps through the door. He's gonna hurl his javelin.
At the closest guy that's standing up.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. Is that 30 feet?
I can check. It is exactly 30 feet.
Perfect. That's in range for the javelin. Okay.
Yep. Go for it.
oh, I have a thing on my screen, the turn order. You want me to go ahead and put my turn on there?
Not yet. After he does his surprise attack, then we'll all roll.
All right. So he's gonna hurl this javelin at this guy.
All
I
right.
don't know if that hits or not, but
It does.
Theo's just gonna shout, "Hey, come get me!" Gonna
It
get right here.
the javelin sinks into the corner of his armor and falls out, and the other two figures start to move, and let me see here.
Actually, I guess I should be right here. Oop.
So now go ahead and roll initiative.
Whoa.
We're seeing like 5 or 6 things pop up there.
That was me. Just continue on
Will you
to
roll
roll.
initiative? Like I'm on the initiative roll.
I've rolled for everyone just so that you wouldn't have to worry about not having it pop up. And then when you roll, it'll replace what I rolled.
Okay.
That way we don't have to worry about someone not having their guy picked and it not coming and all that shit. So
It's really dumb, yeah. Well, not much better.
How? How's that a thing? Like,
So would I
Oof.
have a time to, like throw the javelin like before rolling initiative to like move back to the door or not?
no, I'd say they would react right after that.
I figured. Okay.
And Ireena, you're first, and if you want, you can hold your attack until they come into range.
Did I get my ready to
Yeah,
bury
I'm gonna
fire
do
off?
that. I'm gonna hold it.
Yeah. Did,
Oh, are they in range for fairy fire now?
The 60 feet is the range, and he creates a 20-foot cube. So,
Okay, so you wanted to cast it as soon as he attacked him.
yeah, when he let go of, he hit him with the javelin and got their attention.
Okay.
Make deck save.
I believe, yeah. The two armored fellows failed, so they are both lit up with multicolored fairy light. And now it's Ireena's turn.
Did he get all of them? Or?
No, one of them
What I
succeeded.
said was,
Okay.
I was gonna hold for my attack, hold my rapier ready, and I'm gonna stay where I'm at.
Okay, did you want to try to hide?
I guess I thought moving back over here was hiding.
I mean, it is from where they are now, yeah.
Oh, okay, because I can still see them, and I can't really tell if I turn on, but I did for it back away from the corner.
well, there's windows there, I think, also.
Mhm.
That's how come you can see through it.
Okay, I will hide behind the window in the corner.
Okay, make a stealth check. All right, so you feel very hidden, and that's your rogue action. So now your normal action can be held until they come into range. You'll get sneak attack, unless they rolled higher than 29 perception, but that's not going to happen. So,
Joe, do you have a negative to your initiative?
I do. So my initiative
nice.
Incredible.
It's actually .09.
is
Yeah.
like, well,
It
Yep.
gave you a tiebreaker.
yeah.
How kind.
So these bad boys are coming.
That's what she said.
Let's see the held at. Let's see. Ireena, can you see that guy? I don't know if you can. It would be hard to hit him, but
I can't. Well,
that guy.
Angling's kind of weird on it with the lighting.
only barely.
Basically have like 3/4 cover.
Yeah. So it's up to you if you want to use your held action on him or not. It would be harder to hit him.
Well, I would, Ireena, I would almost hold your. Oh yeah, but they're not gonna get any closer. So. Yeah.
Well, Dio's going to try to move backward, yeah, and pull him back.
Yeah. But I mean, up until her next turn, that's as close as they're gonna get, unless someone does like some kind of crazy pole action on them or something, right?
Yeah, and Ruby, go ahead and post your guardian guy, whatever it is, spell, so I can
Okay.
see what it says. I think it's like Dex check or Dex save or something.
The Guardian of Faith.
Yeah. Yeah, he has to make a Dex save, which is a 12. That's probably a fail.
Does it say what they have to roll?
It would be your spell DC.
Oh, okay. Sorry. 16.
Yeah, he failed. So he takes 20 radiant damage.
Yes.
And he strangely seems, despite being undead, seems to not take as much damage as you would expect.
Uh-oh.
And he's going to attack
Are
you.
these guys evil or?
He's going to swing his longsword at you, Dio. And he has disadvantage. Wow. His first attack was a crit success and a crit fail. But he has
That averages out
disadvantage
to
because of protection.
average.
Because what?
The protection from evil and good. So he has disadvantage.
Perfect.
So that attack misses.
Good.
And then, oh, I forgot about his extra ability.
Can I go ahead and attack?
Yeah, go ahead. He's going to use his bonus.
Wait.
Go ahead, yeah. Go ahead and roll your attack. And he's going to do his bonus action to make Dio his, what is it called? He's going to swear vengeance against you, Dio. Okay, that's a hit. So you will get sneak attack damage on this guy, so that's 19 damage. And his second attack on Dio is going to have advantage, which is canceled out by the protection, so a straight attack. With this longsword, it's a 13. I'm pretty sure that misses.
Yeah.
The other guy's going to run up here and come at Dio. And he's going to make you his sworn target of vengeance also.
Jeez.
It's his vow of enmity is going to be on you. It's
Oh,
going to,
fuck. At the same time, the paladin I am.
and his attacks will be straight rolls again because of the protection. 15 and 15. I think those both miss.
Yep, they do.
So you managed to fend off all their blows. They're kind of sluggish.
Definitely faster than normal undead, I imagine.
Yeah. And now it's Ruby's turn.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Spirit Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Ruby would know that Spirit Guardian and Guardian of Faith are both concentration.
I think Guardian of Faith is not concentration, I believe.
Yeah, Guardian of Faith is an 8-hour one casting time action.
It's like spiritual weapon in that for some reason it's not concentration. It's insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got that going. I'll see if I can turn on your
Very
aura.
Guardians.
Let's see. It's a aura of where is it? 15 feet
It
around
is
you.
they flit around a distance of 15 feet around me. So 15 feet in every direction, or just total?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So there's your aura. So at the start of their turns, they'll both get hit by it. Is there anything else you want to do?
No. Well, no. That's it.
All right. Let's see here. Esmeralda has a bunch of weird spells. I guess she'll hold a. She'll hold an attack till they get closer. Yeah, sure. And oh, I already did that guy's turn. We did them together. Well, so now this guy back here. This guy looks more like a priest. He's gonna come up closer, and he's gonna cast a. He's gonna cast Blight on Dio. So you need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
I don't know if you're able to cast Area of Faith, and then it pulls up Conjuration, and I couldn't fucking think Concentration.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean logically it should be concentration, but
I assume I failed that.
yep. So it's not pinging the damage for some reason. So I'll have to roll it. Wow, they rolled really low. You take 21 necrotic damage.
Could be worse.
Yeah, that's a really low roll.
Infinitely worse.
Good lord.
And Dio, it's your turn now.
Alright, Dio is going to take his action to safely disengage
Yep,
and go through the fucking door.
yep. That works.
And I guess the second they come through that door, he'll ready an attack. So I guess that could be a reaction, right?
Well, you already used your action to disengage,
Ah,
so you would have a
right.
bonus action.
I get you. Okay.
Unless you were a rogue, then you could do that, but rogues are bullshit, so.
Right. Okay. In that case,
Okay.
yeah. Alright.
And the two armored guys definitely do seem to be concentrated on you, so.
Well,
Alright, Swain, your turn.
So, I can't like stand between these two squares, can I?
No, not really.
Where the middle of the door opens.
Not really, no.
yeah, not really.
So this is my question. I wanted to cast this in a straight line. But I
Mm-hmm.
can't really spectral in straight lines.
You can hit two of them with it.
Okay, so I can't cast it between like all three and like hit all three of them.
No.
You're talking like this, right? Kinda?
Well, I'm trying to draw a line, but can you see the line that I'm doing
Yeah,
right now, Brett, or no?
like that.
Okay, never mind. Because I was thinking like this. Let me try to use the line tool actually.
You gotta use the line tool, probably.
Yeah, you can't shoot line spells in the middle and hit two, because then you're basically making it 10 foot.
But I can't shoot it like at an angle like that, right?
You could, but then it would not hit this guy back here.
Okay.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to do that.
Okay.
But it looks like you could hit two either way.
Um,
said that this is an undead.
They all look undead. And the two armored ones look pretty similar to the guy that you encountered that killed your friend.
Okay.
Then
All right.
yeah, the first one there, I'll just hit it with the chill touch and crit, I guess.
Yep,
Okay.
that'll do it.
You have an advantage in your attacks against the ones that have a little weird symbols.
Yeah, so you would have had advantage, but you got a crit regardless. And let me see if he's immune. He is not. Okay. So that's 22. Yeah, it does some damage to him. He seems like he might have resisted a little bit though. From the necrotic
Now,
jet.
if he is undead, well, first of all, he can't regain hit points until the start of my next turn.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's an undead target, it also has disadvantage on its attack rolls against me until my next turn, which
Mm-hmm.
it already has disadvantage because I have on my protection from good and evil, you know?
Yeah.
So, double disadvantage.
Yeah, so it is undead, so yeah. Are you gonna move anywhere?
No. Well, yeah, we want them to come through the door so they hit this thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I want them to aggro me because I have both my a blade of armor and I have protection from evil and good on, and I hit him with that other thing. So
Yeah.
I don't mind tanking.
Alright,
But I
Burl.
think I'll stay where I am so that they'll actually come through the door.
Yeah. Burl, what do you want to do?
Okay, how rickety does this table look?
It's fairly solid. It's pretty old, but
I want to try and step up on the table right here. Nope, that's
yeah.
basically.
Yeah, you can do that without too much trouble.
And I will cast at second level. Lightning Strike on that guy.
Which guy, the closest one?
Huh?
27 hits. Is it the closest guy or the back?
No, this guy right here.
Okay, yeah, that hits. For sure.
So he takes 10 points of piercing damage to me. And then him and the other guy, they all make a DC 16 dex save.
Yep. That's a success, another success, and the priest failed, so he takes 8 cold damage. Let me see if he's resistant. He is not. So the priest takes 8 points of cold damage. Anything else?
Where is he?
Down here. He has the icon over him. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get like messed up by these guys running up at you.
Well, I mean, I took like 20 damage, but the guys attacking me didn't do any damage. It was the spellcaster who
Mm-hmm.
had a good chance of just annihilating me, but somehow avoided it. I mean, I'm okay. Like, I can live.
I'm gonna go ahead and use 2 points of all of this on my board. 2d6. 9 hit points plus 2 temporary.
Okay.
Alright, Ireena, what would you like to do? Alright. And he is adjacent technically to Dio, so you'll have sneak attack. Though you may have to move out a little bit to get a better shot at him. That hits, so he takes 18 damage. Yeah, it's that arrow hits in his weak spot in his armor and knocks him back a little bit. It looks like it did some damage to him. Are you gonna do anything else? Alright, do another stealth check. Yep, you have a feeling you're pretty well hidden. This guy is going to not regenerate any health, and he's going to make a wisdom save and fail. So Dan, roll your damage for your spirit guardians.
Okay.
And let me check your big boy spell real quick.
I want to say it's 3d8, but if it's not, I'll just do it a different.
Yeah, I think it's 3d8. So 12 radiant, and he's gonna move. Keep coming after Dio. Right there, I guess. And he's gonna make. No, he's gonna use his vengeful glare. And it looks like everyone. Yep. Everyone needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, I gotta ask. I'm sorry. That was for the spirit guardians or the big guy?
The spirit guardians.
Okay.
He failed to save on it.
So, just out of curiosity, can I use which guy is this casting it?
The guy down here, armored guy.
Can I use my reaction to counterspell?
No, because it's a innate ability.
Oh, okay. I thought you was
The guy back here is casting spells.
Right. Oh, okay. I thought you said someone was casting something or something.
Yeah.
Thinking we all had to make saves. That's not a spell.
No, he's activating his ability, Vengeful Glare.
Oh.
Anyone within 10, I think it was anyone within 10 feet of me who gets plus.
Plus your plus your charisma, which would just be Swain. You and Swain. And your charisma is what, +2, +3?
+2.
Yeah, so you and Swain get +2 to your saving throws.
Okay.
And you need a 15 this to pass. Ireena passed. Esmeralda passed. Dio passed.
Check. Wisdom?
Wisdom save,
Wisdom
yeah.
saving throw, yeah.
Burl also passed, jeez.
Right.
Alright, Ruby, you're the last one. See if you can make it.
Yeah, I was gonna see. I think I have something for wisdom saving throws. I just want to make sure.
Yours are probably high, I know that.
I thought I had something that was some kind of like dwarven thing for that, but wisdom saving throw.
Oh, you barely failed. So you're paralyzed until the Revenant deals damage to it, or until the end of the Revenant's next turn.
Okay.
Goo.
And when the paralysis ends, you're frightened of the Revenant for 1 minute.
Okay. Does that paralysis destroy my concentration?
No.
Okay.
So basically, until its next turn, you are paralyzed. And that's its action, so it's actually your turn now, and you're paralyzed, so I think you can't do anything.
I don't think so. Yeah.
It has on D&D Beyond somewhere checked all the conditions. Yeah, that's the same as hold person, so yeah, you just stuck for 1 turn. But your concentration stuff still goes. And Esmeralda is going to... What is Magic Circle? Is that a long cast? Yep, 1 minute cast. Okay, she'll just cast Greater Invisibility on Ireena. I guess I can make her as public. There we go. So Ireena, you are invisible for 1 minute. And even if you attack or cast spells, you're still invisible. So pretty much all of your attacks will have advantage now no matter where you are. And they can't see you. And then this bad boy is going to move in here. And he's going to take damage from your dude and your spirit guardians. He saved the first one and failed the second one, so roll 3d8. He's gonna... Yeah, there's just some cracks in the ceiling and there's misty rain flowing in. There's cracks in the ceiling and the misty rain's flowing in, and otherwise it's inside. And Dan, you can roll your d3d8 for your spirit guardians. And this guy's going to make 2 advantage attacks against Dio, but they would be regular because of the protection.
14.
So Dio, first attack's an 8, second attack is a 23. I think 23 hits, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So 16 slashing damage.
Okay.
And then this priest dude is going to wander up here and sure, I'll do that. He's going to cast Crown of Madness on Burl.
Uh-oh. Yeah, what?
Crown of Madness.
Gonna cast what?
Okay.
Is that successful? Does the blue player have any responses to that spell?
Oh, you're talking to me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like asking. You're like, is it successful? And I thought you were waiting on him to give you his AC or something.
Yeah, I was watching for a roll.
Does it resolve?
I was like,
Does it resolve?
I'm trying to remember. I don't know if I ever made it work.
Well, Swain wouldn't even know what the spell was. You would just
That's true, yeah.
cast and have to respond.
Yeah.
Because you can try and determine a spell is being cast, but it requires your reaction to make an Arcana check to figure it out. So, like with counterspell, you don't get to know what it's being cast unless they just like tell you what they're doing.
I'm gonna fireball you. Thanks.
Okay, you're going to use it. So his spells can... Well...
Yeah, so they can check.
Yeah, it works. Yeah. He's gonna... Oh shit, he's gonna... Can he see Burl from back here? Yeah. Okay, yeah, he'll stay out of the Spirit Guardians. He's a priest, so he knows what that spell is. Alright, Dio, your turn.
Alright. Either of these guys around me appear more damaged than the other.
This one on your left looks significantly more damaged. He's at
Alright.
about... He's somewhat bloodied. Even though he can't bleed because he's a revenant, but you know what I mean.
Right, I get what you mean. So, alright, in that case, I'm going to focus my efforts on him.
Alright.
Let's see.
Are you gonna just attacking?
Well, I was looking at some options.
Okay.
And-
Considering. Like, that's probably what I'll do, but I'm going to look and see if there's any.
All of your attacks will have advantage because of Fairy Fire.
Oh, well, that's a good incentive. In that case, I think I am just going to attack them. So, 2 attacks.
Yeah, you're lucky.
God,
That Fairy Fire helps a lot.
Yeah.
So those both hit, and is there any extra damage you want to pump in?
Oh, you know I want to smite. Yeah.
Yeah? Alright, roll for that. Undead, right. It does extra dice, but it's resisted, which is strange,
Well,
but it kind of cancels out.
that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, he's looking pretty roughed up now. Is that it for you?
I don't think there's any bonus action. Well, is there a bonus action here too?
You can like Hunter's Mark or Valvinity, but Valvinity doesn't help you because you already have advantage.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm. I think yeah. Yeah, I think I'm done.
It's Swain's turn.
Is this guy looking rougher than this guy?
Yeah.
And I need to go ahead and hit him. We're gonna hit him with the old hand.
She'll touch that 15 just hits.
I rolled. Oh my gosh.
Wait,
Double
doesn't he
ones.
have advantage or no?
Oh yeah, it is advantage because of Fairy Fire. So yeah, it
Oh, yeah,
hits.
that's why I rolled 2 dice instead of just 1.
And yeah, you
I
gotta...
rolled a 1 on both my damage dice.
Yep.
Cool.
But you did prevent him from regenerating.
Good.
Yeah,
That's very important.
that's relevant.
And he has disadvantage on attack rolls against me until the end of my next turn.
Yeah, that's pretty strong. Are you gonna stay there?
Disadvantage. And then that's it for me, boys.
Alright, Burl, you're up.
Or, I guess, should I... Well, they already have advantage because of Fairy Fire, so I don't really need to use it.
Yeah.
Alright. So I am got my old warlock on me. What happens here?
Yep.
Closing up here and on my way there.
Alright, I think you'll provoke an opportunity attack from this guy. Coming through the door. So he's gonna swing at you with his longsword. And he got a 12 to hit. I believe that misses.
As I'm running past, I'm smashing with my shield as he rear back at me.
And your shillelagh is gonna hit this dude. It's gonna crack one of his skeletal bones. Got a good hit on him. Anything else?
Nope.
Alright, Ireena. Ireena's turn. You're still invisible. It's hard to find an icon for invisibility because it's literally nothing, but I'll just use that. You guys probably don't even have any clue where Ireena is because she's really stealthy and invisible. But she does pierce, her invisible blade pierces through this guy's back. And he takes 27 piercing damage. He just kind of cries out like, ugh. None of them actually said anything. They just started attacking you guys.
Is the priest thing with the skeletal?
It's, yeah, it's a little different than those two armored guys, but it's definitely some type, undead, like some kind of holy man turned undead like the others, but not as armored and stuff. This guy is gonna roll for the spirit guardians. Oh yeah, your bonus action. Yeah, you can do that. Yep, that's a hit. Uh, yeah, -4 still helps. And Dan, you can roll your Spirit Guardian damage. He's gonna resist that, but still take half.
The the D8 times 3 or the big guy?
Yeah, 3d8.
Okay. Oh, that was pretty good.
Yeah. He's gonna take 2 attacks on Dio. I guess he'll move out of it. He's not totally stupid.
Ooh, do I get attack of opportunity?
Yeah, you would.
Crit.
Ooh, nice. It's low in the damage rolls, but it's still a crit, so... He takes lightning. He's not immune to lightning. Okay. Yep. You blast him as he goes around behind Dio to try to flank him.
I mean, 9 damage isn't bad on 2d6.
Yeah, for a free attack. And he's gonna try to longsword at Dio. First attack's a 21.
Good and evil,
Wait a
right?
Right.
Huh?
Question.
Yeah.
I need to put this in so you can read it.
Mm-hmm.
So this crit. How did that? How? What? Is the crit on this just let you roll your dice twice?
Yeah, the crit is rolls your dice again.
Okay, so the first d6 was 5 damage, and then the next one ended up being 4 damage. But do I get to go ahead and do another d6 on top of that? The lightning launcher?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't actually calculate that into the attack.
Oh,
It's
then
like-
yeah.
Because if it hits, then you get to just roll another. You know what I'm saying?
It would be 2 more d6 because it's doubled. So yeah, roll 2 d6 more. So 8 more. He's looking pretty rough. As you just zap him with this lightning out of your hand. And he's going to angrily take 2 swipes with his longsword at Dio. The first one's a 21,
Yeah,
and the second one's a 16. I think that misses.
it does miss.
So that's 17 slashing damage.
Alright.
And he again does not regenerate any health. And now it's Ruby's turn.
I'm now bloodied.
Do I have to roll to be unparalyzed?
Oh yeah, you are no longer paralyzed,
Okay,
but you are frightened
so
of the guy that's almost dead. So you have disadvantage on all your attacks and saving throws while you can see that guy. But that's the only thing. You can still move wherever you want and do whatever you want.
okay. And is there room for me to move over here out of his sight?
Yes.
I'm kind of in my spot. This is one of the black area there. Okay. So I'm going to move up to is that Burl? And
Yeah, but you will get an attack of opportunity from this guy if you do that.
oh, that's a guy there. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought that guy was dead for some reason.
I mean, it might be worth it. It's up to you.
I will. If I have to move past him, I'm gonna just. I'll get next to him for now
Mm-hmm.
because Ireena's there, right?
Yeah.
This guy will then. He'll be like double flanked. So,
Yeah.
all right.
He's still under fairy fire.
Yeah, you'll have advantage regardless, but yeah.
Okay. All right. So my disadvantage and my advantage will cancel out.
Yeah, they'll cancel out. It'll be a straight roll, yeah.
Okay. So with that, my 15-foot radius. And by the way, I've never been able to see my aura. That you said I got an aura there. I haven't been able
Mhm.
to see it.
Oh, okay. I will see if I can fix that. Oh, I could see it. And I think I can fix that. Can you see it now?
No.
I turned
I
on
mean,
all players can view.
it's perfectly fine to for me not to see it. I just wanted to let you know because I remember earlier you
Hmm.
were saying you made it.
Yeah, I have it turned on.
So I'm just going to two-hand Warhammer this guy.
I can show you what it is. It's that radius. That's
Okay.
your Spirit Guardian's radius.
All right.
So now this guy back here is in it. So go ahead and roll your attack.
Okay.
It's definitely a hit. And you get a Divine Strike. Was that a two-handed attack or just one-hander? Do you have a shield?
I don't have my shield on me. It's put away for now.
Okay, so a two-hander attack.
So it's a two-handed attack, but I don't know why I'm getting that divine strike thing on there.
I think that's your level. I think at level 8 maybe clerics get their buff to their either their attack or their spells.
Okay, I thought I had to signal divine strike as a like say I'm going to divine strike this. So I don't think my divine strike once on each of your weapon can use the attack to deal extra damage. Yeah, I guess that's just divine strike. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it just happens. So yeah, that's 14 damage to that guy.
Okay. And that's
Are you gonna do your war cleric? You are a war cleric, right?
yeah.
Are you gonna do your bonus action attack on him?
When you attack, you may make one weapon. I just want to make sure it's not going to cancel out my concentration.
It won't.
So
You only have a certain amount of them per day, but there's no downside otherwise.
I'll go ahead and do that then. Yeah, I'll use one of the slots.
All right, go for it.
Actually, with my bonus, I don't need concentration for making a spiritual weapon, so
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and make that. I didn't look because I thought I wouldn't need to. It's crazy how much doesn't need any concentration for a freaking
Yeah, it is crazy.
cleric.
Where do you want to put it?
Right next to me. There you go. That's great.
Every single druid spell concentration.
Yeah.
Yeah, druids are pretty stretched on it.
I guess with these, it's like set it and forget it with clerics.
Yeah.
Yeah, fairy fire. I don't much else.
Well, you can roll for its attack.
All right.
That is not going to hit,
Okay.
but it'll
Does it
stay
have
there.
advantage with the 14 or no?
Oh, it does have advantage. It still doesn't hit though.
Okay.
But yeah, it's still there for next time.
All right. Good deal. I'm done.
Esmeralda's going to come in, make 2 attacks with her rapier, and 1 with her short sword. They're all advantage, and they all hit. So let me see, 24 plus 7, 31. Yeah, she tears into his back while he's focused on Dio, slashes him up. And now it's his turn. He's going to make a save for Spirit Guardians. And he failed, so Dan, you can roll your 3d8 on him.
Sure thing.
And he's going to use his Vengeful Glare. So who can see that guy?
Which guy? Click on it.
The guy in the middle? I think everybody can, right?
Talking about
This guy, yeah.
I definitely can't. Everyone clicks on it.
I think so. So everyone except for Dan make a wisdom saving throw.
Since I'm already feared.
Yeah.
Right. Another wisdom saving throw. Okay. Wait.
Yep.
So I get that How many people are within 10 feet of me? I
Um,
get that bonus because I'm close to you, right?
yeah, some people are going to get a bonus. It is everybody in that. So basically everybody but Burl, pretty much.
Yeah. I don't need.
Yep. We'll get a +2 on top of it. So Esmeralda failed, Burl succeeded, Swain failed, Dio succeeded, Ireena succeeded.
The +2 on there, so that is 13. Does 13
13.
pass?
Nope, it's a DC 15.
Okay.
So Esmeralda and Swain are stunned, or paralyzed, I mean, for 1 turn. That's actually probably sleep, but whatever. It's only 1 turn, it's fine. And that's his action, so that's it for him. Now the spellcaster back here is gonna make his wisdom save. And what's your DC, Dan, for your Spirit Guardians? Or your spell DC? Was it 16?
16.
He barely failed, so roll your 3d8 on him.
Sure thing. Oh, super low.
He's going to...
Barely failed. I barely did damage.
What is he going to do? He's just going to use his deathly claws on Burl. Start swinging at you. The first one's a 24 to hit. Second one is also a 24 to hit. He rolled pretty high. The first one is... Oh, they're exactly the same. No, they're not. Okay. The first one's 13 necrotic damage, and the second one's 13 necrotic damage. But he rolled differently on his die, so it's not a bug. Yeah, so 26 necrotic damage total. And that's it for that guy.
Save for
Yeah. Need a 10 on a con save. Got it. And got it. And Dio, your turn.
Time to finish off. I assume this guy's still weaker.
Yeah, he's barely alive.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Well, he's not alive, but he's barely standing.
There you go. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna hit him. Roll a pick.
Yep. That's a
Cool.
hit. He has a sliver of health. Do your second attack.
Okay. Jeez.
Alright, how do you want to finish him off?
So he's like armored, right?
Yeah.
I just imagine Dio's gonna land a solid like his pick is just gonna stab through its skull, like puncture the helmet
Yeah.
straight through
You
and rip it off of its body, I guess.
you've ripped the head off, and it falls backward into this wall and starts to slide down. And you see the Morning Lord sigil on its chest plate as it falls to the ground. And it kind of takes you aback for a second.
Well, yeah.
And Swain is paralyzed. And
Put the X on the guy,
yeah, now it's Burl's turn.
just so we remember when we come back.
Yep.
Alright, so there's one of the other things left, and it is like surrounded by all the swords to fuck 'em up.
Yep.
Should be.
Rock, fairy fire,
All right. Go for it. That's a hit. 11 takes 11 fire damage. All right, Ireena, your turn. You still have advantage on all your attacks. Yeah, the walls are just a little weird. Oh, actually, I think I can fix that. There you go. Okay, so this guy back here will not attack you because you're invisible. And that will hit the guy back here, and he takes 25 damage. Pierced him right through with an invisible rapier. That also hits. That's, yep, not sneak attack, but it still slashes across his side with your short sword. Invisible short sword. No one knows where Ireena is, but Burl can probably notice something slashing this guy to pieces. That guy's dead. Now it's Ruby's turn. You are no longer frightened because the guy you were scared of is dead.
I love not being frightened.
Yep.
Now, this other guy sent out the same kind of cry, and you didn't make me roll for that. So that's not affecting me at all now. It was
No.
an automatic now frightened him too.
No.
Okay.
You,
Then.
after it affects you once, you're immune for 24 hours.
Oh, okay, great. Okay. All right. So I'm going to hit him in the face with a warhammer.
Go for it. You'll have advantage
15.
because you're flanking. 15 just hits.
Okay.
That's still two-handed, right?
I guess I'll use my divine thing as well.
Yeah, so 12. Yep, you're gonna bonus attack.
Yep. Bonus action with my spiritual weapon.
Crit.
Crit.
And he does not resist that because it's force damage, so he takes 18
Okay.
force damage. He's looking pretty rough now.
Alright. I'm done.
Alright, Esmeralda's paralyzed. This guy's turn, he's gonna make a save for your thing. And he got a crit, so he succeeded, but you still do half damage. So roll your damage. And he is gonna just keep swinging at Dio, because that's what he does.
That's all he knows.
Yep. All he knows is vengeance.
Yeah.
The first attack misses. Second attack's a 19. Does that hit?
I have an AC of 19.
So it just hits.
It just hits.
So you take 8 slashing damage. You deflect the first one, but the second one manages to catch you in the side and draw some blood.
Still got 33 health.
Yep. And now instead of being paralyzed, where is it? Where's fear? What would fear be? Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'll just leave it, it's fine. These two, Esmeralda and Swain, are now scared instead of paralyzed. Now it's the spellcaster's turn. He's getting low, his enemies, or his allies are all fucked. He's going to... sure, fuck it. He's going to cast Blight on Burl. So Burl, you need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh. Yeah, he disconnected the Discord.
Oh,
Now he's back.
now you're back. Joe, you need to make a Constitution saving throw. This guy's going to cast Blight on you. That's a success. So you take 17 necrotic damage, and if you are a plant, you would have disadvantage. Any plants that you're carrying now wither and die.
Oh no.
That is unfortunate.
And that's pretty much all this guy can do. Yeah, that's it for him. Alright.
Alright, Dia's gonna beat the shit out of this guy now, I guess.
Yeah, you'll have advantage because of flanking.
Yeah. I like to think he's just kind of, like, after seeing the fucking Morning Lord symbol and all that, he's kind of, like, numbed.
Yeah.
He's just going into, like, an automatic, it's kind of an automatic mode, I guess.
First one hits. Is there going to be any more damage?
Yes.
Alright.
This
Roll
is
for it.
second level smite.
Yeah.
So...
So 48, because he's
48.
undead.
48.
He's looking pretty bad. Pretty close to death now, or pretty close to being brought down.
Yeah.
Swain, you are no longer paralyzed, but you are frightened.
Oh, does that mean I can attack or no?
You can do whatever you want, but your attacks and saving throws are at disadvantage as long as you can see this guy. But if you cast a spell that makes them make a save, then there's no real downside.
Yeah. I guess I'm just going to hit him with the old dinger, boy.
Yep, so he's going to make a save. Let me see. He succeeded. He got a
Big butt
16.
breath. Right, you big eye.
Was that a cantrip?
Yeah.
All right. Burl, what do you want to do? That's a hit, and he's definitely looking bloodied now. All right. Yep. All right, Ireena's turn. Yeah, you'll have advantage no matter what because you're invisible, so that hits. So that's 24 piercing damage. This guy's pretty close to going down. Second attack also hits. And he survived it, but like I said, he's pretty close to going down now. After you slash him with your invisible swords. Uh, Ruby, your turn.
I'm just gonna try to hit him again.
Go for it.
Boink. Hope that hits.
It does, so that's... Yep.
So,
He's pretty close to going down, too.
God, it sucks saved at the 8 one-handed damage.
Yeah, that's weird.
I just...
You can bonus action spirit weapon. What do you want to do for your bonus action?
Dan?
I'm here.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that, it's fine. We're almost done.
Is Dan Gunga?
I don't know. He's just unresponsive.
Esmeralda could use her evil eye, but that's not going to help. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Now we can.
Yeah.
I'm on my phone. My computer's locked up, so.
Oh, okay.
If you can you roll my spiritual weapon attack? It's a hit. DC is a +8, and then it'll deal a 1d8 plus 5 damage.
Yeah, I got it.
And then looks like I'm gonna have to restart my computer to get this one.
Sure. 1d.
I'll stay on the phone.
Whoops. 1d8. Let me roll your... That, yep. He's barely alive. Okay. Now, what is she gonna do? What is Esmeralda gonna do? Sure, fuck it. She's gonna run in here. And the guy takes attack of opportunity and gets a crit fail. She's gonna investigate that room. Sure, why not? This dude's gonna... I'll roll spiritual guardians for Dan. 3d8. He dies from spirit guardians at the beginning of his turn.
Fantastic.
And this guy actually also might do the same thing. Let me see. He very well could do the same thing. Yep. He dies from spirit guardians at the beginning of his turn. Alright.
Oh boy.
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
So these undead are brought down. You notice they all have clothing of the Dawn Star, the Morning Lord.
Yeah.
And the knights have like decorations on their armor of like the silver dragon. And we can stop there unless you guys would like to investigate this chapel first. It's up to you.
I'm fine with stopping there since my computer, I'm gonna have to like bring everything back up anyways.
Right. Yeah, that works for me too.
Sure. All right. We'll start with this creepy chapel next time in Argynvost.
Hey, I'd rather be here than with that fucking abbot.
Yeah. This is pretty much how I'd hoped it would go. That you guys would not have to fight the abbot and then come here. This is where I was hoping you guys would go. I'm glad you didn't go to Berez yet. But anyway. Cool. I guess we'll come back to the creepy chapel next week.
Right.
Are we,
And
gonna, are we moving it to Saturdays, or are we trying to keep Fridays? What's the plan?
yeah, I was already read about that earlier. If you want to okay, moving this game to Saturday, for right, at least for right now, a while. The big thing is like Fridays that we've been playing. Straight to the top. 5 kids all day, and we like the end of the week here. It's too much to try and stay up until 1 o'clock again.
Mm-hmm.
On Saturday, there's a chance to go out and train. If everyone's cool with it,
Yeah, I think it's a little better for me to do Saturday. So if Dan and Tommy, I think Drew doesn't matter either way.
That doesn't
Um,
matter either way.
It doesn't matter either way to me. Yep. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yep. Works for me.
Alright, sweet. I guess Saturdays is cool then.
If you guys have a second, I want to show you something, and I'll put the link in the Discord.
Okay.
And I just have to find it real quick.
I'll show you one of the abbot spells. This is a bonus action.
I mean, could we be fighting him later?
Oh yeah, sure, if you want to.
Are you sure you want to give away his spell?
I mean, there's not much you can do about it.
There's probably not much we can do about it.
This is a bonus action spell. Charisma save 19. And yeah, if you have fewer than 20 hit points, you die instantly.
Oh,
If you have fewer than 50, you become deafened. If you have fewer than 40, you're deafened and blind. Fewer than 30, you're blind, deafened, and stunned for an hour.
For an hour. God. Alright. That's a 7th level. Oh, God. What level is he?
He's strong.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
one of his spells. He has that spell too. It's a pretty sweet spell. But anyway. Yep.
Joe, if you're still on here, you might be interested in this as well.
Yeah, go ahead and post it.
Yeah.
I was considering if you guys fought the abbot, I was considering having him cast suggestion and make one of you leave and go to the pool and repent your sins or something.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Alright, so I put it in the chat in the Discord, and it's a Kickstarter, and it's already fulfilled, but it only has like 3 days left, not even that. And basically, if you scroll down, you can see all the miniatures you get, and it's over 200 miniatures for the $65 that come in the box, and it has so many miniatures. There's like, just naming them off. There's 5 goblins, 5 kobolds, 5 orcs, 5 zombies, 5 troglodytes, 5 gnolls, 5 giant rats, 5 spiders, 5 skeletons, 5 imps, 5 oozes that come in translucent green, 5 giant worms, a huge dragon, and then with the Kickstarter, all the stretch goals, there's 5 werewolves, 5 bandits, 5 ghouls, a demon lord, 5 harpies,
Fun.
5 bugbears, 5 ghosts that are in a translucent plastic, 5 unholy knights, 5 cultists, 5 gas serpents, a troll that's a large miniature, 5 dire
Yeah,
banshees that are light blue translucent.
a bunch of good stuff.
There's so much good stuff, and it's $65 plus the shipping, which is probably going to be about $20 to $25, something like that. But it's totally worth it because these minis come out to be like 50 to 60 cents each, if even that.
Mm-hmm.
Is how it is. But the fact that you get all that stuff is pretty crazy good. And the stretch goals are right now they've done up to $510,000 for the stretch goals, and it has made 516,000. So I'm assuming in its last day, it could make another $20,000 to $30,000 or more. I looked up their last thing and it made $650,000. So if it comes, having $600,000 means that there could be another 5 to 10 more miniatures that come with it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to let y'all know about that, because this is not their first thing. They made Altar Quest, and they had Altar Quest expansion. So this isn't their first time making minis, but they just decided, like, hey, instead of making a game, everybody wants minis. We could sell a whole bunch of minis in just a box. And it's what's that? They're not painted. No, none of them are painted. So you're getting them like basically a quality similar to what you buy in the store, those 2 packs of the Whiz Kids bones and everything, or a whole lot less. But I wanted to let y'all know about that since we're only like 2 days left. I've just been keeping an eye on it to see
Mm-hmm.
how it's developed, and it's developed pretty well, I would say.
I think if one of us orders it, the other rest should probably not, because then we'd have way too much shit.
Well, but one of the things was like Joe might want it for his family and kids for doing stuff like painting and all that kind of stuff. Like that's
Yeah.
a really huge collection of stuff to be like, if you want to paint them, go paint them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I didn't think like you would get it and then Drew would get it or something like that.
Yeah.
Absurd.
I thought maybe like Tommy might be like, oh, that might be good for playing with kids at some point or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like, I mean, it's about 1/3 of every. I'd say this would cover 30 to 50% of every D&D campaign you would ever come up with from now on, except for those obscure things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even like that they have a female dwarf druid.
Nice. Dwarves have high wisdom. They can be good druids, even though it's not really the cliche, but
Yeah. They have some pretty good looking models on here, I would say. And even if it was just the box, like later on, if these show up in the store for $65, that's a decent price for getting $65. But having pretty much like an extra 100 something minis by doing the Kickstarter is pretty awesome. But I won't keep y'all on. I just wanted to let y'all know that existed.
yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask real quick, Brett, you're not like you're gonna use the Mystic stuff, aren't you, for my campaign? Is that what you want to do? Just use the new stuff that came out,
Well,
or you still want to do custom stuff?
they changed the. Talking about my character for your campaign.
Yeah, are you wanting
Um,
to use that new content they developed, or do you still want to create custom content?
I'm not sure anymore.
Okay.
I may
And
still.
Dan,
I'll probably still
what
want to
about
do a wizard or something close to a wizard.
and then Dan, do you still want to do the custom stuff we talked about?
For dark
Okay.
one? Okay.
Do you want to? Do you still want to do some custom stuff and make your like we talked about before?
Sure. Yeah, that's fine with
Okay.
me.
And we'll have to get together sometime to
Okay.
work on that. Maybe it would be good during all this stuff. And then Brett, or we were going to mention, um, I don't know exactly when we would start it, but you're thinking after the Echelon campaign is what you said, Brett?
Or if everybody wants to, I would be cool to do your thing instead of the Ixalan campaign, and maybe we can pick it up on down the road. But it'd be cool to let you run a game because you obviously have a lot of preparation. So
Right.
Yeah,
I also need to come up with my character stuff as well.
yeah,
you
but we'll
can
have plenty of
like,
time.
I put
Yeah.
a lot of stuff in that Google
Yeah,
Drive thing I
yeah.
shared. There's a lot of stuff there. Now you don't have to pick only things that are there, but the whole reason I put it out was for like ideas.
Sure.
So if you want to start getting some ideas together and send my way, that will because I'm not gonna like fully flesh stuff out unless somebody's gonna use it.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then Brett, when are you thinking you want to get together sometime this coming week and do some world building and maybe stream that?
Yeah, and Dan, you're invited to that too if you want.
Sure. Just give me a heads up on when you guys are gonna try to do it. Usually Tuesdays are not good for me because I'm doing that terrible Tuesday movie.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Terrible Tuesday movie sounds awesome.
yeah.
I mean, my Tuesday. I mean, my Tuesdays and Thursdays are always booked now anyway.
Uh, if you want, I know it's late, so feel free to say no. I can show you what I made on that Tailspire, and then I found out everyone has to have a copy of Tailspire to run campaigns through it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has to have one. I can't share mine and have you guys be players. It's something that everybody has to have a copy of, and then they just run that copy as a player and join a GM's game if they're not building or being a GM.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the other, not the Roll20, but the other one, the tabletop, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It escapes me. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But if you want, I'll show you that mine and dungeon. And I was real bummed out too because I was like looking up instructions on how to GM and how to do this stuff. I was like, man. And I went on their Discord. I was like, hey, how do I get people that didn't buy the game to like join my game and I can run as a GM? They're like, they can't. they have to have the beta.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want me to show you that, or do you want me to like crap on it? It's fine with me either way. Doesn't hurt my feelings.
Hey, Brett, I think you're still streaming.
Yeah, I guess I'll turn it off.